Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, all goglings, gogorifics, and gog peoples of the world unite. I hope everyone is doing well and is looking forward to our session today here on GogCom and this show, Pen and Pixels, which focuses on story and narrative in games every Tuesday from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. We're getting a late start today. I came back from a mini vacation with family this morning. Then I had to immediately go into a stream before this. Then I had to eat a little bit of food so I did not collapse from lack of energy going into the next part of things. So it's been a rather busy day for Arv here in Casa del Arv, but we are here and we're ready to go, and I'm very excited to bring you all more of this game, Talisman Adventures, sponsored as always by Pegasus Spiele. And thank you, Hair Monk. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these intros. These intros, of course, are done by our own peripheral mic. Music has been provided by Greenforge Studios for this one, and yeah, we're very proud of it too, and I'm glad that you like it, and Peripheral Mic gets all of the credit and all that kind of good stuff. So just before we get started with our session for today, it is episode 322 of Pen and Pixels, and if you haven't already done so, please follow us here on the channel. We always appreciate that. If you can follow us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to check out as well and subscribe to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. That allows you to get those custom sub badges and emotes and also support the streamers. So all of that really helps if you're able to support us over there. And last but certainly not least, please consider clicking through to our individual channels, because we have all of our own individuals, Patreons and subsystems and stuff like that. And if I may take just a moment for a little bit of shameless self-promotion, and I'm going to do this on several occasions actually today, because we're really close to a milestone which is really important for the channel. So I would really appreciate it if we could get some support on this as well. I have a YouTube channel, which some folks may have heard of, and the YouTube channel is, hold on a second, I'm just going to get you a link to it. The YouTube channel looks like this. I think it's actually in the host then, but it looks like this right here. So this is the YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get people to subscribe to us over here on the YouTube channel. We have 957 subscribers. I am only 43 subs away from 1,000, which is a big deal for the channel because it will allow me to monetize the YouTube channel and do a bunch of other stuff that will provide options and opportunity and just like a whole bunch of things that I can do. Excuse me, once we get to that 1,000 sub limit, that 1,000 sub milestone. So we're at 957. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the channel, like literally $0, but it will cost you nothing, but it will really help us out. So please consider subscribing to the channel if we want to get up to that 1,000 subscriber number. And in fact, I'm going to say something even more dramatic than that, which might be helpful to our players, but I will do that in just a moment as something to think about. So if you could support us in that way, it would be very much appreciated. Please and thank you. It is free to subscribe on YouTube. Yes, it is indeed free. So any support that people could give there would be very helpful. Now, having said all of that, I'm going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly for whoever it is that I probably interrupted as I did so. And then because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them so that I now can hear them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal to you the incredible crew, which is not quite exactly, wait a minute, someone has moved their webcams around while I was gone. I see where that happened, and now we're just going to fix these things so that Pyron is not Darksaber and Darksaber is not Pyron. Both lovely people, but very different people. Okay, there we go. Now we're all back normal. We're all fine now, thanks. How are you? We are here, and all of them are here, and I'm very excited to introduce to you the amazing GOG stream team for Talisman Adventures, sponsored by Pegasus Spiele. I will begin, as per usual, the person on the top of the column and in the top of our hearts. And that, of course, is one Pyron Jade. It is good to see you, Pyron. I hope all is well with you. This is the first time I think I'm seeing you in person, by which I mean on a camera this month. So how are you? How's life in the universe with everything? And yeah, exactly. Pyron's supposed to be the ghoul, and Saber is supposed to be Augusta. Yeah, no, not so much. Not today. I just had to make some cameras around. So how are you doing? How is life in the universe with you, Pyron? And who are you playing today?
First of all, I would like to point out that Saber would make a wonderful Augusta. I have complete trust in him.
Oh yeah, sure.
When it comes to that. And
I see myself more of a gnome.
I think I've seen you more of a gnome, right? I am seriously really tired and exhausted today. So, and that always makes my mind like wonder a
Same.
bit, and I say like really stupid things. So, for example, in our earlier talk before we went on stream, I proposed to make things better by coating the queen in wax, but I'm getting there. So tonight I'm playing Regina Augusta III, who's a sprite warrior, and yeah, there has been some fighting last time. There has been a running donkey, and currently we're talking to a delusional troll, if I remember.
That is correct.
So things are just the usual. Things are just the usual, and I think she's doing fine. So that's it for me. Thank you.
I am excited to see this. Yeah, and actually, now that I think of it, it feels to me like Augusta and Regina in particular is sort of kind of like this is the kind of thing I could imagine Regina being somewhat exasperated about. Like, this is what happens with my group, and like how did this happen? Like, how did my life end up with dealing with delusional trolls and donkeys that are frightened? Like, how did this all happen?
Most likely alcohol.
Yes, that is probably how some of it came to be, from which all terrible things flow. Thank you so much, Byron, and I'm excited to see how Regina handles things. I'm also excited to see how Darksaber's character handles things today. As always, thank you, Saber, for doing the dashboard and the MooBot. I never take it for granted. I really appreciate it. It really helped, especially today when I was starving and trying to scarf down food before them. And what made it worse is I was trying to scarf down food, and one of the characters in my Adventures of Middle-earth campaign this morning is named Scarf. So the whole thing was weird. I was just like, I'm currently doing what this character did to this food, and it's not pleasant. Saber, how is life in the universe with you? How are you doing? I was not eating human hands. That is true. How are you doing, Saber? How's life in the universe with you? And who are you playing today, sir?
I am doing really, really good. Thank you. I recently got some very strange closure in my life because I finally finished, after 12 years after first getting the game, my first ever playthrough of Fallout New Vegas.
Wow.
Only took me 340 hours. That's how much I've played the game for total. But this playthrough, I actually managed to finish because I forget every time just how much content there is in that game. And if you are a completionist nut job who has to go to every marker on your map and look at what's there, you can burn out on the game quite fast. But I finally got to the end. I did do all the DLC website. Yes, I did. Wasn't so keen on Lonesome Road, to be honest. That was the only one I never played before, and it was just a corridor shooter, but everything else was great. So I finally finished, and I got to throw a person off a dam. It's just the perfect ending.
Nice. I mean, listen, what else could you want from a game?
So you did this for the NCR? It's like, no, I didn't. Boing.
Now, what will you do with the Fallout-sized or shaped hole in your heart now that you are now finished with Fallout New Vegas? Like,
I have decided to follow up one excellent classic RPG with another, and have started a playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines with the restored content mod. So
I see.
Did the basic version that's available on GOG on Sunday, but decided to mod it up fully and start a playthrough on my own channel, which has already been very, very interesting. Of course, I went Malkavian because you kind of have to, especially when you're streaming it, because that's where all the fun is.
That's true. That's where all of the joy is. That's awesome. And when not, finishing up games that you epically, or starting new ones, not new for you, but, continuing epic classic games, who are you playing, sir?
Oh, keeping with the theme of playing as undead, I'm Reginald Shoon, ghoul, druid, and gravekeeper, accompanied by his spirit dog companion, Boots. And he's currently wondering how a troll could be convinced that stone is wood and wood is stone. He seems very. I think we just figured out the problem, but that's right. We defeated him in a game of riddles.
Yes,
and that seemed to snap him back into focus.
You did indeed, and he did actually kind of figure it out and sort of go to this like aha type of moment, like what am I doing here? Yes, so it'll be interesting to see how now troll to troll in certain ways you're able to handle him now that he's no longer delusional. That will be interesting to see. But always a pleasure to have Darksaber with us, and also a pleasure to have the person who will be the person responsible for bringing through the troll support network. My name's Lump, and I'm a troll. Hi, Lump. that kind of thing. But it'll be interesting to see how that gets managed with of course the troll at the bridge and the troll of the character being played by our very own Mike Smith, who got a lot of attention today because Mike was kind enough to stop by my channel, and so people were just like, "This is amazing," and wow, Mike is this, that, and the other, because I was talking about the videos that Mike makes, and so we had people raving today, including someone raving in chat about this is the best intro video I've ever seen. I'm like, well, the person responsible for that is this person, so you should all be talking to this person about how great this intro video is. Mike, it's good to see you, my friend. How's life in the universe with you, and who are you playing today?
It's infinitely better than it was 30 seconds ago after hyping up like that. So I'm very thankful for that. It was lovely to drop into your stream today. I'm really excited to see more of Adventures in Middle-earth, and it's always nice whenever I'm doing work. I always find time to drop in on, just have streams on in the background or something like that. And I think some of your streams, it's just, they're just very easy to sink into, and just I can kind of they scratch a part of my brain that I didn't know needed scratching. So I'm always appreciative of that. And also you have excellent groups of players as well, including but not limited to the people who currently virtually surround me.
I agree.
But the world is good at the minute. I'm really, really busy. Some things I can talk about, some things I can't talk about. But yeah, I'm super busy at the moment. So there's no streaming at the minute, unfortunately. But that is on the horizon. So anyone who is currently subscribed to my channel, or rather, is it subscribed? Yeah, subscribe to my channel. There are streams coming. I'm just getting some stuff sorted. But today I shall be returning into the role of Lump, the troll. We were talking about lay walkers in the green room just before coming on, and I was literally just about to say the troll assassin. And that's an image I didn't know I needed.
And like you reveal, that's like the big twist reveal from season 5 or something, right? It's like, he's going to be an assassin. You're just like, he's learned,
He just peels the face mask off. It's just ash flower in disguise the entire time.
God damn it, he fooled us all.
Yeah, dun dun dun. Anyway, yes. So I'm playing Lump, the troll world walker warrior, who is, to be honest, just trying to get paid for delivering a body to a place right now. So as soon as he's got his friend weds with him, as soon as this is done, then, hopefully he can either go back to the town he was in and find another job, or maybe find another job with this lot. Who knows? But he's pretty much just looking for his next meal and next payday at the minute.
That's true. And definitely he's found a lot of meals and at least reasons to get paydays with this group. It's been a little bit of an adventure for, I would say, our good friend Lump.
It's been lucrative, to say the least.
Yes, exactly. And more of that to come, hopefully, as we will talk about. But always a pleasure, of course, to have Peripheral Mike with us. And also a pleasure to have Undeveloped Bruce with us. Welcome back, Bruce, as always. I hope all's well with you. How is life in the universe with you? And who are you playing in today's session?
Well, life's pretty good because I went to a shelter on Sunday and got permission to take and adopt a dog called Moog, which means smoke, on Saturday.
Super
so this is the most exciting thing that has happened in my entire life. But it's been ups and downs. I fell down the stairs today.
What?
That was scary. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, that happened. And then I went to bed for an hour because I was in shock. And then I worked from home. So I just went back to my desk and started working.
Okay. Are you okay?
You're okay.
Definitely
though, right?
okay. Yeah, everything's okay. I can't get up and walk around because my knee hurts, but it's okay. And today I am playing Chwedl Weds Cragman, who is a dwarven minstrel come down from the crags. And today what he's going to do is he's going to really, really help a bunch of trolls. And by a bunch, I mean the mystery troll and Lump build a bridge. And I mean help in the way the dwarves always help trolls build bridges, which is to watch. So very much looking forward to that.
You're really more of an idea dwarf, really. More of a concept dwarf.
Here for inspiration. Yeah.
Yes, to be able to help with those. Very exciting to have the whole group with me. Now, I'm going to give the party a little bit of a surprise here. And I'm actually going to take a risk. I'm going to put this up, and again, our fearless leader can tell me this is not a good idea if you want. Now, I mentioned that I'm trying to get my YouTube channel up to 1,000 subscribers, and I have 957. So I'm going to put up this sub goal for me up here in the top left. Now, here's how I'm going to sell this to our stream team leader, one Pyronjade. Because if we hit 960 subs to my YouTube channel, chat, I am going to give a bonus or a benefit to the party. And every 10 subs that we get to the YouTube channel afterwards, I will give another such bonus or benefit to the party. If we somehow hit 1,000 subs by the end of the stream today, this party is going to get a significant bit of information that will be of huge use to them in the Briar Rose adventure. I will fully admit that I'm doing this shamelessly out of an attempt to, get more people subbed to the channel, but also because I found that doing that with someone else ended up being a lot of fun for the players to kind of get into it also. So that's the deal. We are at 957, and you too, chat, can have help with this. Now, right now as we speak, we are at 900. Oh, I'm wrong. There are two more that have just jumped on board. So 959. So we are only 41 away. Only 41 away from 1,000. 1 away from getting a small bonus. 11 away from getting a second small bonus. And 41 away from getting a significant bonus for the party.
960.
Also, one very important note. Burner accounts do not help and, in fact, actively hurt. So this has to be real, actual accounts, not just fake ones. Fake ones will hurt, so please do not do that. But otherwise, this is free to you, but it will definitely help me. And today, it will help the party also. So, yeah. So with that said...
Aileron,
yes, please.
Please refresh your browser.
962! Look at that! See, I had a feeling that chat was going to come through with this. I just always feel bad about pushing stuff that's related to my channel on here. But I got permission from Pyron, and now I am shamelessly, trafficking in their own ability. All right. So here's the bit of information that I am going to give this little bit of bonus information. And thank you, chat. 38 away. Let's keep this up. Here's the bit of information. Let me fire up some music here. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, let's go with that here. Okay, there's the music. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about to the party about the benefit that they are going to get. I am going to give them, to begin with, we have at the moment 2 out of 6 light fate for Reginald, right? Is that right, Reginald? I have 2 out of 6 light fate for Regina. Correct, Regina? Is that right? I have 2 out of 6 for Hweddle. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have 1 out of 5 for Lump. So I am going to give Lump an additional light fate for having reached this amount. And the reason I'm giving it to Lump specifically is because he's the only one with less than 2. So I'm going to give it out to sort of even it out. I will figure something else cool out once we get to 970. And as I say, at 1,000, there's going to be a big boost to the party, but it will be an informational boost, something they'll be able to use to kind of keep in their back pocket to be aware of. I should keep on refreshing. We're at 963. I love it. Let's keep it up. So next goal here is going to be 970. Okay. So in our last adventure, and yes, anyone who can do that would really appreciate it, because I'd love to see it hit 1,000 a day. It would be really awesome for the channel and for other things. In our last session, as has been mentioned, the party has been hired, I guess you could say, or has been requested to help bring the body of a character, one Morris, from Morris Rosen, from the inn where he was found, far to the south in Grey Mist, and to travel over to the east, and to basically figure out a way to get this body not just out of the inn in Grey Mist, but also get this body awake again. Because you see, Morris Rosen is not dead, or at least not yet dead. Morris Rosen has clearly been placed under some kind of a curse. And right now, the only way you know about the progress of the curse is that Morris is holding on to this rose, which has only a couple of petals, and I believe it's 2 petals, if I'm not mistaken, that are left on it. A petal has already fallen off from when they first encountered him. When they first found him, there were 3 petals. Now there were 2. And so the party has to go find someone who can basically give some assistance. And there is a sage who knows a lot about magical plants, who's in an old coastal village known as Fishburg, not far from a ghoul graveyard. And so the party has been taking Morris along the way, but it has not been an uneventful journey. First of all, they've had him on the back of a wagon. A bunch of bandits tried to take the wagon from them with Morris's body. That was stopped thanks to a lot of timely interventions. A shadow-covered troll, courtesy of Hweddle, and then later on there was a Regina battling the person who was holding onto the horse. There were also some well-placed lightning bolts from Reginald, so there's a lot of stuff that's been going on here. So they managed to get past that part, but then they ran into what was in some ways an odder problem, and that is they found a troll guarding a bridge. That part's not unusual. What is unusual is the fact that the wooden bridge behind the troll is damaged, and rather heavily damaged, but for much of last session, they were trying to convince the troll that that was the case, because the troll is convinced, or was convinced, that it was a beautiful stone bridge, that it was the one stone bridge leading to the city, and that no one should tell him anything different or try to cross, because otherwise he was going to attack them, because that wasn't how this stuff worked. And so the party, through a series of riddles, managed to convince the troll that he had been ensorcelled in some way, and the party now suspects that the person doing the ensorcelling might also have been the one responsible for ensorcelling our good friend Morris, and that in fact there is now a bridge. So the good news is the troll now completely believes that the bridge is what it is, which is a wooden bridge that is damaged. Now you just have to figure out how to actually stop and fix that bridge, basically, and to cross that bridge together. And I believe, although correct me if I'm wrong, party, that we had just started talking about ways in which that would happen, to maybe start fixing the bridge when we had to bring last month's session to a close. Is that fit with everyone, or am I missing something in the recap?
You are entirely correct. The bridge had just magically fixed itself, and we were just...
That is inaccurate, and not true, but thanks to your...
Unsubscribing from your YouTube channel as we speak.
9:30. Oh, damn it. Because it's true, as the king of YouTube, we have to be careful with Mike if I antagonize him too much.
It's a little bit like Highlander. You get too cocky, I'll just chop your head off. It's fine.
Right. There can be only one.
The only one.
So yeah, so what would the party, so I believe that's, assuming that that's correct and we have a damaged bridge, you now have a troll which is back in its right mind, but you also have a bridge that you have to fix or figure another way around or over or down below in the ravine or through it to get over it. So I'm going to hand things over to the party. What would you like to do? And if you had already started to fix parts of the bridge somehow that I'm not remembering, please tell me, but I don't think we had gotten there yet.
No, I don't think we had.
Okay. So I will hand things over to the party. What would you like to do?
Hweddle would like, I think, well, all right, well, I'll be over here. Bridge, trolls, you know what to do. If you need anything, let me know. I'll just be sat over here on this rock. All good. Good luck.
Okay, and Hweddle, are we talking like this rock over here? Like that rock?
Yes. Yeah, I was, but now I'm concerned that you're gonna...
No, I just want to make sure I know.
Are you sure it's this specific rock?
Actually, I mostly just want to be able to get you onto the same page as everybody else. It'll make it easier.
The rock that's licking its lips currently?
Yes, exactly. The mimic rock. I mean, the...
Yes. I mean, the not mimic rock.
Yes. But no, it's up to you, Hweddle. You can be wherever you like. I just didn't know if you wanted to move up in that general direction. Okay. All right. The wicked wind whips at you as if ready to pull you into the ravine. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
The tendrils start coming up the side of the ravine.
Right. And the troll is very the troll is clearly not happy. I mean, the troll is just, I don't, my bridge. That's my bridges. No. My bridge is not working.
I'll fix bridge.
Well, I mean, we need more wood, and there's other things that could happen. The bridge right now is unstable, and it looks like there are several boards that have been removed. And also, and you can even see those actually on the map right here, there are several boards that have been removed. And also it looks like some of the, I mean, you need to look more closely, Lump, and or anyone else who wants to do this, but it looks as if the bridge is swaying a little bit, as if it's been made unstable in some way.
Good taking things apart, not good at fixing.
I'll go and take a look. I fly under the bridge to see why it's swinging.
Okay. I would like you... Let me think about what test this might be.
Oh, by the way, I read the errata, and I do have one more armor point.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, because they increased the armor points for a lot of armor. And now I have 12 instead of 11.
Wait, what did you read?
The errata? Like the... I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's the errata.
No,
errata.
As opposed to the erotica, which is a very different kind of thing.
That's a very different.
Yeah, that's not a... we don't...
What?
I think I've just found it. I'll pop it in Zoom.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I see. I miss all of this stuff.
I only because
that's the board game.
Oh.
That's 2011. That's not right. Oops. Hang on. Yeah,
because you DM'd it, so you just saw the errata sheet.
Yeah, because I DM'd Talisman this weekend, so I saw the errata.
Oh no, found it. Yeah, they've got a website page.
I'm going to ask you to make. Let's see. Could just be a notice check, but Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. I'm going to ask you to make a notice check,
absolute
please.
Legend, like normal.
With senses, with wits for senses or insight for intuition.
It would be wits.
Okay. Yeah, that is good. Regina does not have that. So that is 3d6 plus 1 then. Roll. Well, I've got a double, but I've got a 9.
Yeah. So, what this means in this particular case is that is a fail. I am sorry to say. You don't know. I mean, you can see mostly what you get when you get underneath it, Regina, is this bewildering array of like wooden pins that have been placed into like large pins, like almost stakes really, that have been placed into holes. And then there's like what look like kind of boards that you guess are being used as braces, but then the braces sort of interact with things. And it's like you follow it up to the top and then it's like connected to something that doesn't seem to be connected to something else. And you're like, what the hell is this? And it all seems like a mess of wood. Like just, it all looks crazy.
No problem. I saw what is not the problem. So I come back up. It's not on fire.
Definitively true.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's not burning. So I think that's good. Like
the troll hears this and just sinks to the ground and puts his head in his hands. And it's just like, just that clearly he doesn't know what to do.
I'm just gonna go over to the troll and put like my hand on his shoulder and go, "Fix bridge. We'll fix bridge."
How are you going to, though? I don't even know how to fix it, and it's my bridge.
No, we'll figure it out. And so I'm going to walk over to this tree and size it up a little bit and see if I could potentially, punch it hard enough that bits fall off we could use for a bridge.
So as you think about this, in another universe, something rhymes with Beinblaft. Might have something to do with that. You think that it's a decent sized tree. You think you could definitely it's fresh enough that wood could be taken from it. You're not 100% sure that you know about how to punch pieces off of it, but you could maybe like rip it down or rip branches off or something like that, perhaps. Hey, Kilda.
Yeah, I'll try and rip branches off.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to
take it apart.
Yeah. you're able to do that for sort of smaller branches. If you want to start doing the bigger branches, then I would have you make probably an athletics check, I think.
You're not going to accept tinker, take apart, are you?
No, until you start fixing the bridge.
Nope. God damn.
And then we'll talk about that.
Take apart.
You are taking it apart through force with your fist.
Where am I? Athletics. Yeah.
So yes, as a reminder to
So
folks in
3D6.
chat, do you have the skill, first of all?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a focus in the skill, such as, in this case, it would be probably... this would probably...
Awesome,
There
magic
probably... It would be... Probably climbing, actually, would be the closest one. Is that really one you have?
Bingo. I have
Okay.
Talisman bingo. I have athletics climbing.
Okay. So... Let's
Yes.
see.
I
Basic
knew that
survival.
would come in handy at least once.
I thought about the possibility, actually. You know what? It's not athletics.
Don't
I'm
do
going to
this
make
to
it
me.
survival.
Oh, don't. Oh,
I'm going to
okay.
make it survival. Because survival really is more what you're doing. So survival. Do you have any focal points in survival?
No, but I do have the skill.
Okay. So then I will say, so survival, this is going to be probably metal, I would say. But you don't have a focus, but you do have the skill. So that's going to be 3d6 and an aspect. So 3d6 plus aspect, which would be metal.
Excellent. So 3d6 plus aspect. And I rolled 10.
A 10,
And I got
huh?
doubles.
The doubles is good. Trying to think about the difficulty test, though. Let me think.
Not if it failed.
Say again.
It's not if it failed.
Well, because this is a
Unless you give me a great failure, and which I'm really not going to be.
no.
pleased
It
at.
would not. It would not be that.
The tree attacks you.
It's the one that's the problem. Yeah, I don't think this is quite enough. I think that it is actually a fail. Because you didn't quite hit the number. One of the things is that this tree is fairly strong, and it's more pliant and pliable. By which I mean it's like not something we could just like break a tree branch in half or something like that. It's going to be difficult to actually pull stuff down from it. You can get a couple of small branches, but you're going to need either some kind of implement or someone else helping or something to be able to actually pull this, fairly young, vibrant tree out for use.
Okay, well, that
I
tree's.
help by shouting encouragement. Go on, Lump. No one takes a tree down like you.
I can take a tree down like me.
I think you've got a helper
You
there.
You want to take tree down?
Yes, let's take the tree down. We're not going to get defeated by a tree.
I
I come and
I make
I
a hand
assist.
motion to the tree.
I come and I assist Lump with the tree.
Okay. So if you were going to assist, then what I would say is, do you have a survival skill? Or actually, you tell me, before I ask that, how are you going to assist him? And we'll talk about whether the skill you have would be appropriate for it.
Pick
So
me up
the
and use
problem
me
is
as an
he's not-
implement.
He's not uprooting it properly, right? That's the problem.
Yes, he seems to be kind of ripping at it, sort of, but he's not able to tear much down from it. He gets a couple of leaves, maybe a spare branch.
Okay, in this case, I will try to shout non-confusing things and like show him with my spear, like, you gotta uproot it like this, with like lever motion.
Okay, so you're going to provide some kind of direction, you might almost say.
Yes, as good as
Um,
Regina is at it, she'll now try to help. I'm helping.
Okay, so I'm going to say that this is going to be... I guess I'm going to say that this is trying trying to decide if this is a persuasion or survival. I think this is going to be a survival check for you too. So I'm going to ask for a survival check. So the way this is going to work is you're going to roll 1d6, and if your roll is equal to or lower than that skill, do you have survival, by the way?
I do have survival.
So if your result is equal to or lower than survival, then that number on the die will be added to the other character's roll.
Did he use metal or brawn for survival?
Metal.
Metal. So I need to roll higher than my metal.
No. You need to higher than your metal.
Nope.
No, it needs to be equal to or lower than the skill that you're using to assist. So since you're using survival,
Yes.
which would be what? What is that skill for you?
It's survival, and it's
Doesn't have a
survival.
numerical.
No, I
value
meant
next
like
to it.
the aspect though. So if you're using
The
metal,
aspect
you
is
have to be
ins-
equal to or lower than, not higher than. It used to be lower than.
Because it's so for me survive. I've noted down it's inside when seeking safety and metal when surviving extreme circumstances.
Right. It would be that. It would
I
be
mean,
the
this
extreme
could be maybe
circumstances.
This could also be more like tinker, maybe brawn. for
Not
taking
yet.
an
Tinker
item
will be
apart.
used when the repair of the bridge happens, but not to take the tree apart, I'm afraid.
We're all
Okay.
keen for
So I
tinker.
would need to roll lower than my metal.
Correct. Equal to or lower. And if you do get equal to or lower, then you can add that to his survival roll.
Well, I've got a 1 in 3 chance then.
You have a 2?
Equal to or lower.
Yes.
So that's an
Right, because if it's higher, then it basically means it's higher than your skill, and then you aren't able to use it. So that's basically the
Okay.
idea.
interesting.
Let's roll a 1 or a 2 then.
Yep.
I roll a 5.
That's more than that. That's actually more than double that.
Yeah, so Lump, like,
So
Regina's
I
just
poke
like,
with my
poke, do
spear.
there, look at that.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah, so I like fly
Love's-
around
Love's
hectically
just
with
like-
my spear and poke at the tree, like here, and then this,
Yeah.
and all here, and then I like punch the tree a few times,
So,
and then
so
I look,
basically,
and then I look expectingly at Lump.
So basically, what weds the other troll and Reginald see is occasionally Regina will fly around the tree, stab a bit of the tree, and then Lump will just come along and just thump that bit of the tree, and we're just basically running around a tree, stabbing it and thumping it.
The troll at one point looks over at you, Weddle, and is like, is that how they always work together?
Yeah. This is how we roll. This is how we do everything.
And he nods and just looks even more despondent than ever.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I did want to ask,
Yeah.
when the troll was having his, time,
Right.
he kept talking about he had some like lovely house nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Was that part of the illusion, or does he actually have like a ramshackle house nearby?
No, it appears that he probably does have a house of some kind nearby. You're not sure where, but you haven't seen it, but it's down, he said, not right next to the bridge.
Right. Mr. Troll, sorry, what was your name again?
And he just sort of looks at you and then goes, Bridge. Apparently his name is Bridge.
An excellent name for a troll. Love it, loving it.
He smiles.
Yeah, it's worthy of you, to be honest. Did you say you've got a house round here? And if so, is that house by any chance made out of planks of wood?
And so he kind of stares at you and then says, yeah, I built the house with wood. Why?
Well, I mean, as a temporary solution, I know what trolls are like. What's more important, the house or the bridge? Obviously, the bridge is more important. Could we maybe take apart maybe like one wall or something of your house?
You want to take
And
a
we
wall
got
off my
timber.
house?
Yeah, and then make the bridge, innit? Get the wood off the house, put it on the bridge, sorted.
But then I don't have a wall.
But then you got a bridge. And then people will
Oh.
come over and they'll be like, da, 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 and you'll be like, excuse me, no crossing the bridge until you paid the toll. And then they'll give you money, and then you can use that money for some really nice furniture in your house. Long-term gains, very, very good.
And when you say, when you say, but then you'll have a bridge, he's like, well, yes. He kind of nods like, we'll have a bridge then. And says, all right. If you come back and help me out building my house someday.
Absolutely. Lump will be looking for work on the way back this way, so I promise you the Lump's going to come back and help you build your house. Isn't that right, Lump?
I help for coin.
Okay, make a persuasion check for me, please, Weddle.
Sure. Could I use the focus fast talk?
Maybe. Can you tell me what the focus is? How it describes the focus? Because
yeah, let me just look it up.
more than because I'm trying to decide between that and like with a negotiation would be more the idea.
Oh, well, I also have a focus in negotiation. I just talk really fast.
Yes,
so
if that
either one's fine with me.
I would say let's go with negotiation. So you have the skill, yes. You have a focus, yes. So that means 3d6 plus aspect, which would be insight in this case, plus 2.
Yeah, but I have the Charming Words special ability, which means I can use wits or resolve instead of aspect
lovely.
for a persuasion check. So I will be using my resolve, which is 5. So it is /roll 3d6 plus 2 plus 5.
It's a good call, Izzy's, by the way.
Ooh.
All right. So we have a 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. Okay, so apply plus 2, the additional aspect was okay, good. Yes, so 17. So we kind of all right then. And he stands up and he basically turns, and it looks to you for all the world as if he basically heads and then just steps off the edge and vanishes from sight. Is what it looks like. And so there's a moment's pause, and then you hear, well, someone coming down to help? And there's a little bit of an echo, but it sounds like he's right below the level of the edge of the ravine. And as you kind of come over and look over, he's standing basically on a narrow, sort of thin path that is winding downwards. It looks exceedingly dangerous, and it looks like he shouldn't even be able to fit on it, but he seems quite comfortable, basically.
I'll give it a go. Yeah, I'll give it a go. Try and get down there.
Can I see how dangerous it is?
It looks pretty dangerous, Weddle. It's pretty thin. It's a very, very far drop. You can hear the roaring of a river far below.
Right, hang on, Lump, wait for me.
Wings.
Troll's making his way with no problems.
Yeah.
I keep on poking the tree until somebody stops me.
Come on, Sprite,
Regina.
this way.
Okay, I fly down.
Okay. Reginald, what about you?
I thought the assumption was they were coming back up again.
Well, yeah,
So,
I mean, presumably. I don't know.
So Reginald's going to wait up here then,
Okay.
not being the most agile ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
This has been
Okay.
proven.
So you folks are going to make your way down, and it is indeed not super. It's not the safest way you've ever gone down. I'm going to ask Lump and Weddle, not actually not Regina, because Regina is actually flying, so that doesn't have to worry as much about this. But I am going to ask the people who are held down by gravity, specifically Weddle and Lump. I'm going to ask you to make both athletics checks, and this is athletics checks this time, and a focus in acrobatics or climbing. I will take either one of those.
Good. I am pleased you will take either one of those. Let's get the dice roller up. So I have the skill, so 3d6 plus my aspect. Oh, what's the aspect for climbing? Athletics climbing again?
It would probably be agility. In fact, appropriate when walking along a narrow ledge. Yes, I would say that fits this perfectly.
Yeah. Yes. So that plus that.
So if I haven't got the skill or a focus, is it just 3d6?
It's just 3d6.
Yeah, straight 3d6.
Oh.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. All right.
Okay, we'll come back to that 11 in just a minute. Okay, Lump, is that a 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 4?
17.
17,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, 17.
All right. So Lump, you're able to make your way down, no problem. Regina, buzzing along next to you as you head down this very steep thing. But it's also, there is some spray from the water down below, and it gets a little bit damp down here. And Weddle, as you are making your way down, sort of like step by step, carefully, your toe catches one part of the path, and you kind of trip, and then you begin to do that thing where you start to like stumble run, like dun 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 dun, and stopping is going to be very difficult. So now you're like barreling down this path, and the troll behind you like, you might not want to go that fast, as you're like zipping completely out of control down this way. So you have multiple options, I would say here, Weddle.
I can't believe you're doing this to me when you know I fell down the stairs today.
I know. I didn't mean to do that. It wasn't my fault. I didn't go down the thing. Maybe this is a chance for you to live out a different experience. Maybe this will come out a different way. So you have multiple things that you could do. You could try to, catch yourself up. You could try to leap off into the water below. You could try to, grab onto the edge. You could do something else, imaginative and creative that I haven't thought of. What do you want to do as you're like barreling down this path?
So I've already barreled past the two trolls at this point.
That was when you went past the one that
ahead.
the troll's like, well, be careful, they're going a little fast there, type of thing.
I think I'm gonna just curl into a ball and protect my head. No, I'm gonna curl into a ball and protect my curf, which is of course the most valuable possession that I have.
Yes.
That some people mistake for a loot somehow, but I always forgive and forget.
Listen, who does that?
Losers.
Okay, so you curl up into a ball, and basically you just, so the rest of you see like dun dun dun, then just sort of like almost giving up, like just sort of ducks, then all right. I am going to need you to make for me, please, an athletics check here. This is clearly running. If you have that, I will take that. Or acrobatics. Do you have either one of those?
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask you to make simply a test of 3d6, please.
What can I say? Weddle's an artist, And thus he met his end.
It's been great being with all of you, and
that was a 9.
that was a Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So you're like bump it. And then you bump a couple more times, and then bump up, spin a few times, and then you basically sort of fly off this one area essentially. And for a moment you're like, oh no, and then you slam hard, but into soft grass. And as you kind of open your eyes for a moment, you see that you have now landed in what must be the front lawn of this creature's house. And so as you sort of pull yourself up, you can see that you've made a nice Weddle-shaped imprint in the grass here. And you are going to take a little bit of damage here. Specifically, you're going to take 4 life points of damage, and this is going to ignore armor, I'm sorry to say. And you're just going to, but as you kind of pull yourself up and you can see that you, in the nice green sword, you've made a nice Weddle-sized imprint. And you're down on the ground now. Everything worked just fine. It's all good.
Lovely. I made a mark in this grass, just like I make a mark in the hearts of everyone I meet.
And the troll says, Regina, you can hear this. The troll says, "Oh, that was pretty impressive. He always does something like that. Speedy, fast."
That was extremely impressive. I have not seen him do that before. But yeah, cool stuff.
It's
and then like poetry
training
at the end.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah. I look at Weddle.
You can see that Weddle is sort of like gingerly pulling up to speed. And by the way, your instrument is completely safe. You have protected it, saved it completely. Yes. Just so you know. And as you walk down the rest of the way, Reginald, as you were kind of looking over the edge, you saw one moment where it looked like Weddle was like tucking and rolling for some reason, and then landed on the lawn, and gets up and seems to be, apparently that's just how they go down, into the lawn. Apparently that's how it works. And picks themselves up. And now the rest of them arrive at the house. Now, the house really is a ramshackle house. It's probably true that it was built by a troll, but it's been built by a troll with, I don't know, kind of a hodgepodge. There's lots of different kinds of wood, different colors. You're pretty sure that some of these are not planks of wood, but actually just small tree trunks worth of wood, basically down here. And as you're all looking at this, the troll comes up and says, "All right, well, here's my humble abode. You can take whatever you need so long as you're really careful. I had this thing featured in an issue of Better Trolls and Gardens some time ago, and I'm hoping to get it back in the spring edition." And he kind of nods. But there do look to be like a bunch of different wooden boards, but they're just all different types and all different qualities and stuff like that.
So, I mean, we can take stuff, but where do we put the stuff?
Oh, we just gotta
look
take
at
it
everybody.
up there to the bridge, innit? I'll start using my rapier as like a pry bar to get some of these boards off.
But so you just want to like lie it on the bridge to have better footing? Have you not seen like the bridge is going like this all the time? It's like swinging, although it's not on fire, I would like to point out. But I don't think putting stuff on top will solve the problem of the bridge.
Should we all look
I'll stop swinging
up at the bridge, and maybe we can see something from down here?
You're pretty far away to be able to see the underside, except you can see the holes in the bridge, from the boards you could see on top as well. And the bridge does seem to be slightly swaying back and forth in the wind, but you need to get closer to see the details.
Bridge troll, your bridge does all the movement stuff. Why?
I don't know. It never used to do that. I just managed the bridge. I made sure that the top of it was fine, and I've never seen it do anything like that. He looks genuinely distraught, as if you're asking him about his, his child or something.
Well, I'm not sure what to do here. Maybe we can just tie it up to stop it swinging. I'll look like everybody else.
Look, I mean,
never fixed a bridge.
And he points at Weddle and he says, "Look, you were the one who told me this would work." So he goes over and he just with a terrible tearing sound, he rips up one wall of his ramshackle hut. He's like, "All right, just take this whole thing." And he turns around with the entire wall like on top of his head holding it. And you can see on top there's like a couple of pictures that are still like in the wall and stuff like that hanging from the wall. And it's like a Home Sweet Home like embroidered thing on it. And
is one of them like framed his feature from the magazine?
Yeah, like smiling, kind of like focusing on the bridge, like up on there. Yeah, exactly. You also think you see like there's a picture on there maybe of 2 other trolls with this little troll, maybe him as a kid.
Sorry, did you just say there was a picture of what his bridge used to look like?
That's true, although from a distance, because it's like taken from it. It just shows you the really cool together, and it's from on top, sadly. But it does show apparently this bridge, yes.
I have an idea. We don't repair the bridge. But
He says, holding the thing above his head, "Don't repair the bridge."
yeah, listen to me. I have an idea. We don't repair the bridge. We take rope and put the rope on one tree on one side and on the tree on the other side. And then when we cross the bridge and we get into trouble, I just fly away and leave you all to it, and you can grab onto the rope.
He pauses
I
and
was
looks
on board
at
with the
Weddle.
first half.
Yeah.
Not with the second half.
I mean, could we not just like use rope, tie it to these 2 trees, and then tie to somewhere, nearly halfway across the bridge on each side, just to like steady the bridge?
I don't know.
Still use going with the rope solution, but
I have rope.
combining.
So, by the way, you could have used rope to climb down, just saying. But it was really cool what you did.
Weddle says nothing. Right, okay. Current plan. Use a house to fix up the boardy bits on the top of the bridge. Stabilize the swaying of the bridge with a rope attached to the tree to the left of the bridge and a rope attached to the tree to the right of the bridge, and then keep them nice and taut, and then that'll stop any sideways movements. It's all right, I got a degree in engineering, I have.
But the bridge looks pretty big, even compared to a tree.
It'll be fine, trust me.
Okay.
Well, that was
Lum
easy.
just like nudges. Lum just nudges Wed.
I knew you'd help eventually.
Just don't get used to it, all right? I'm the cute mascot. Tidied up a braids in my beard and everything today. Nobody's even said anything. My beard looks really, really gorgeous. None of you have said a word about it.
I was too busy thinking about my bridge being a stone bridge. Sorry. He says, still holding the wall of his house above his head.
I'm just gonna not in a patronizing way, but like this is how Lump shows affection to people he likes. He sort of taps Weds on the head.
You look lovely.
Thank you. All right. Bridge, get that wall upstairs. And then the rest of us, rope. Let's go, team.
Okay.
So he immediately
I fly up
turns
to
and begins to
Reginald.
walk up this narrow ledge with his, and he has to like hold the wall of his hut, like kind of at an angle, because he's right. It's a pretty narrow ledge next to the wall, but he has no problem.
I fly up to Reginald. So, Weddle will tie up the bridge.
So you think that is when you get back up to Reginald, he's sitting against a tree. His eyes are staring dead ahead, not blinking. He appears dead even by his standards. Boots, however, is chasing a butterfly.
I'll still talk to him and see if I get a reaction. Weddle will tie up the bridge. No reaction?
No.
I'll carefully poke him with the blunt side of my spear.
Whilst this is going on, Lump has just taken 50 foot of rope out of his bag, dumped it on the floor, and is now also playing with the butterfly and Boots.
Okay.
Are we saying that we're all back at the top now without having to roll again?
Not yet.
No.
Damn
it.
Not yet. I assume that dumping is going to happen when you arrive at the top, not down here at the bottom. But I do appreciate the fact that you were trying to play with. I look forward to the time when you can play with Boots and a butterfly.
All right.
The troll is having no problems. Troll is, it's all fine. But I'm going to need rolls from Lump and Queddle in just a minute. But before I get there, let me go back to Regina and Reginald and all that.
Poke, poke.
Nothing
Nothing?
yet.
I take the other side of the spear. Very carefully poke at his
Embedded in his
on the downside of the boot. Like poke, poke.
Okay.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
I scream.
Okay. So Lump and Weddle, I would say at this point you hear this, scream emanating from above, from the sound above you echoing, and the troll holding, not even looking back, holding it, says, "Well, your friend's dead," and is just walking up this way.
A shame. He's a nice fairy.
So now that leads to a question, Lump and Weddle, which is, are you going to speed up the pace or keep at the same pace that you're going?
Nope, same pace. I don't really know these people.
I'm going not an iota faster than the troll in front of me. In fact, if the ledge is wide enough, I'd like to be on my hands and knees, just...
Making your way up. I think it seems reasonable to me. All right. I would like both of you then, Lump and Weddle, to make athletics checks. And the focus in acrobatics or climbing would work here. I'm going to ask, let's see. Lump, we're going to do this at a -2 because of the circumstances. I'm not going to have Weddle do that because Weddle is going up on hands and knees. So I'm going to just have Weddle do the normal athletics. And if you have a focus in acrobatics and climbing, do you have such a thing? You do not?
We don't need to talk about that.
So in that case, it's just going to be 3d6 for Weddle. And Lump, do you have acrobatics or climbing?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have acrobatics or climbing, then you can use one of those two as you're moving up this ledge. That would be 3d6 plus 2 plus aspect, which would clearly be agility for both of you.
Mm-hmm. But this is going to be at -2, right?
Right, so that's true. So that cancels out. So it's just 3d6 plus aspect.
Yeah, so 2d6 plus 2. Yeah, that's fine. What are the specific scenario as to me being at a -2?
Well, the main reason...
going down seems a lot more dangerous than going up. I don't want to call you out on this. No.
The issue really with going back up is the fact that it's hard to see because you have a big troll in front of you with a wall of a house above his head.
Half a house on his head.
So that was basically my thought process.
I assumed he was behind me.
No, he went up front. He took the lead immediately. Now, in fairness, you could drop back enough that then that wouldn't be an issue. So I guess you could do that as long as you don't mind him being much farther ahead of you.
No, I'll do it at -2. It's fine. What's the worst that could happen? Opens create new characters.
Speaking of what's the worst that could happen, I rolled another 9. Oh dear.
9.
I don't feel as bad now.
And an 8.
That 9's looking awful good right now, isn't it?
All right, so you're climbing up the way, and you're just like, I'm gonna get to the thing, and it'll be fine. And then at one point, the troll who was ahead of you was like, "All right, now be careful because it's almost too dangerous to be." And he like turns around like this while he's holding it, and Lump, you're just like, "Ah!" and you fall backwards and then bang into Weddle. So what that means is both of you are teetering on the edge of the ledge. I'm going to need both of you, please, to make acrobatics, so athletics. This one is going to be an acrobatics focus if you have it.
I should never have come down here. 12.
What's the
with a double 5.
With a double, yep, that's right. So that's actually that's a great success. Okay, so you are actually able to hold on just before you sort of slip off onto the ledge, and you kind of almost do this parkour thing, this matrixy thing, where like the house goes over, and you're like type of thing, and you manage to avoid falling all the way off. So you stabilize before you can fall off the ledge. Now for you, Lump, is that another 8 that I see?
Oh no, I haven't rolled yet.
Okay.
I was just going to ask, what's the aspect for athletics? Is it agility?
It would be agility, yes.
Agility. Okay, let's roll. I rolled. Not terrible, but probably not.
That's going to be 11. That's just enough. You sort of like stagger back, and then Whittle's sort of like whoa, and holds you, and you hold yourself, and like so you're one of those things where you're like standing right by the edge, kind of looking over, and then there's a moment's silence as everyone stares at each other, and the troll's like, oh, sorry, and then turns back again, but this time turns in the other direction, so it doesn't actually, you don't have to like avoid it a second time. So you
I'm
just
gonna
managed
let
to
him
avoid
go
falling.
there first.
Say again.
Yeah. I'm gonna let that troll go first. Like, I'm not going back up until they are up and out of line of sight.
Yeah. So he goes up, continues to trudge upwards. No problems at all. And both of you are fine. See? You're fine.
Let's maybe be more careful.
You say this to the troll or to Whittle?
No, it's a Whittle.
Okay.
The troll's gone. I'm hoping the troll is nowhere to be seen and
Yes.
taking his giant wood shield with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say he can still be seen, but he's a good distance ahead.
Well, so is he still climbing up?
Yep.
I'm
not going till he's gone. That guy's dangerous.
Yeah, that's entirely fair, mate. I've fallen already once today. I don't need to go again. I mean, it was fun the first time. Good landing. Not sure I could do it twice.
So I'm just going to look out towards the ravine, so I'll go.
Nice day.
Hweddle is not at all looking out there.
But looking like with the death stare at the ground, I assume, below Whittle's feet. Like, yeah. Okay. So, Regina, you have been screaming in the meantime. And then you were sort of like, and you stop as the wall of a house appears over the top of the ravine. Like literally a house wall just appears.
There is a house wall appearing, but I've got like bigger problems. If screaming alone apparently does nothing, I'll grab the front of Reginald's clothing and will start shaking him. While still screaming.
You think you might see a movement in his eye? You're not sure?
Wonderful, I'm on the right track.
Just suddenly like a... What?
Stop. You okay?
Why are you doing that?
Because you weren't doing anything. Like at all.
I was meditating.
Maybe put a warning or something?
Oh, did you wake the ghoul up? Are you here? And you can now see that the just clambering up onto the side of the ravine is the bridge troll bridge. And he's right next to that big thing.
I am not dead or something, There's like traditional science for this.
Yeah, I think the traditional grammar for that is I ain't dead.
See, even Hweddle knows.
They didn't really cover that in druid training. Usually you don't need to remind the trees.
Trees are not as nice as you might think.
Besides, I technically am.
A tree? No, I've seen
Dead.
trees. You see that Regina is definitely considering screaming again.
And she just sort of goes... just gestures at himself.
When are you dead? What happened?
I'm a ghoul.
Yeah, but not like really.
Then my parents lied to me.
That parents do that a lot.
Sorry, Reginald, but you're adopted. You're not
Must have
really a
lied.
ghoul.
You're actually
They
a
lied about my
vampire.
life.
You're actually a lich. You just.
Don't want to brag,
Right.
but
You're
I have
actually a
seen
white.
that
You didn't want to
people,
play with the others.
This
and
is where
they-
he finds out he was Ashflower all along.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no.
The big reveal.
I don't want to
Remember when I
brag,
was
but
controlling for that session?
I have seen dead people, and they usually are not as active. If they are, you
can
started
be.
wrong.
You need to spend more time in the cemetery or
I
sepulchre.
don't need to spend more time in the cemetery. I'm pretty sure that time will come, but not now.
It looks like
I
he's
could-
moving to me, says the troll.
I could what? I could move in with you?
Yeah, I could have a nice little spot for you in mine.
Thank you, I guess.
A borderline's comforting and strangely threatening both at the same time.
At this point, Lump, you have, I assume that you're right in front of Weddle, so you've reached the side of the ravine and you can kind of clamber back up. And you can see
Good.
Regina
Very,
looking,
very carefully.
staring kind of in a mix of anger and fear at Reginald, who seems nonplussed. And a second later, Weddle arrives.
I tend
Let's
to
not go around
bridge.
Let's not go around telling people you're dead, okay?
Is it immediately obvious what the screaming was about? Are we still on
Not
high
really.
alert?
I just look at Bridge. I'm like,
Not dead. Might owe you gold.
Boots is currently barking up at a tree.
Regina,
there is.
what you were screaming? What's that all about?
Oh,
I thought you were dead.
No, that people don't scream. They also don't talk.
Oh, this is very
Um,
good information. What do they do?
Um,
Rodent
That-
graveyards.
no, they lie in graveyards.
I have a very important logistical question right now. Where is Boots on the map?
Let's say.
And can Boots have
Here.
a token, please? Excellent. I'm going to go and play with Boots.
Okay. You can do that, and the troll Bridge has since then says, "All right, well, whatever you need, there it is." And he points down to this wall, which has pictures on it and stuff.
Bridge. So Weddle will try to tie the bridge to trees so the bridge doesn't move.
Why
Right.
are you
Okay.
tying a troll to a tree?
Because Weddle is an engineer.
All right.
I've tied all sorts of things to all sorts of other things.
I
Anyway.
know I've seen your Saturday night show.
I was tied to a minecart once.
Right. Who's got rope? Bring over here.
I dumped my rope in front of the bridge.
Oh yeah, you did. Thank you.
Yep, 50 foot of rope.
How much rope have you got?
How long's the bridge?
It's a good
51 feet.
yeah, 50.5.
Yeah, you just get there, you're like, oh, there's just enough
Damn
to
it.
reach, not enough to tie it.
Let's see. Well, it's 1 square is 1 meter, so we're looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably about 30 to 35 meters across, which would work out to about 100 feet ish. He said, hopefully.
That's right. We don't need the rope to go all the way across the bridge. We just need to secure it vaguely a third to halfway across the bridge. Just one on each side, pincer movement. You know, this rope stops the bridge from going that way. This rope stops the bridge from going the other way. It'll all work out. Weddle would like to start tying the end of one of the ropes to the tree he's standing next to.
Okay.
Reginald nods and he's
look-
like lowering a coffin.
Yes.
I look at Reginald. My idea was to have like the rope across the chasm, so in case the bridge is not safe, you could hold on to the rope. So nobody, and I look intensely at Reginald, ends up dead.
Last time I held on to a rope was with that minecart.
Sounds very
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
and you did not end up dead.
You know I'm a ghoul, right?
You keep saying that, yes, so I do believe you.
Ghouls are already dead.
No.
We prefer the term not alive.
See?
We were born this way, but we are considered dead.
Mortally challenged.
I'm pretty sure the people who consider you dead are wrong.
I have a lot of questions for my parents.
Don't we all?
Why do you have questions for his parents?
While you're doing all this, I would like it, Huddle, if you could make a tinker test for me. So tinker would be with a focus in this particular case in repair, really easy. If you happen to have that, do you?
I don't, but so this is like a test for tying the ropes.
Yes,
Is it?
it's part of the repair. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, the ropes
Can
you can
I-
do without a test, but like the thing you're doing to try to make it useful, that's the part that's going to be testing.
Can I delegate to somebody who's good at tinkering?
Yeah, you can. Sure.
Regina, you can fly and tinker with things. Could you help me with attaching the ropes to the bridge and stuff, please?
Yes, I can fly and attach the rope to the bridge and stuff.
Excellent. Or rather, I can help you rather than you helping me.
Yes, why? I'm not sure how all of this engineering works, but you do, so just... Where do you want me to tie the rope?
As far as it will go to the bridge. The most solid, thick beam you can find close to the end of the rope on the bridge. That way.
Okay. I take the end of the rope, I start flying until it goes like brink, and
Okay.
I found the end of the rope.
Okay.
And then I look for something that looks big and solid, and I will try to tinker the rope around it.
Okay. I would like you then to make, please, I'm going to have you make that tinker test. If you have a focus and repair, do you?
No.
All right.
Paddle told me I can tinker. I'll go and tinker.
So then we're looking at just 3d6.
No, but if I have the skill, I get to add the...
Oh, sorry.
you
You have the
don't
skill,
have
but not
a-
the
you don't
focus,
have a
right?
focus.
So then it's just
Yes.
3d6 plus the aspect. Okay. And this aspect would be agility in this case.
Okay. So 3d6 plus agility. I tie a rope for 12 and give you a dark fate.
Appreciate that. Let me just make note of the...
Boo.
Everybody boo.
I'm very considerate when it comes to...
Boo.
And
Okay.
I tie a rope for 12.
So let's see. We're talking about the right. So you make a valiant effort, Regina, with tying it and sort of moving it as you fly it across the way. But as you're trying to tie it to like a piling, like one of the wood pilings that is sort of driven into the side on the other side of the ravine, you're like, oh crap, and the rope drops. And the rope goes doink, and then the end of it is lying on the other side. Now, one person, I don't know if it's Weddle or someone else, has the rope on the near side of the ravine, like where the rest of you are. But Regina, your end of it fell.
I got this. Nobody worry. I fly down to get the rope up again.
Okay. All right, you're able to go do that.
Sorry?
You're able to go do that. You bring it and you pick it up.
I got the rope again.
So you bring it back up. So I'm going to need you to make a check again as you're holding it.
Yep. No problem. I got this completely. Nobody worry.
I shout encouraging things. Yeah, you're the best sprite. Tinker.
I am the best sprite.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I give you another dark fate, and I got a 9.
You're just like, I've got this. Slip. God damn it. So it falls back on the other side, and Bridge just sort of shakes his head on the other side, and he says, she needs to learn to hold on to things.
I nearly tied myself to the bridge.
Please stop rolling dice. That's all I'm going to ask.
Okay, I will.
Hours have passed.
I take the rope up again. No worries. I'm just having. No worries. I spent a light fate to get a bonus die on the next roll. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Last die is still the Kismet die.
Okay.
Okay, I get a light fate.
You get a light fate back, so I don't even have to make any adjustment.
I drop the 3. I drop one of the 3s, and I then have 18.
This time you're able to secure it with ease. You're able to secure it to the other side. Third time pays for all, as they say.
Yep, I fly like an otter.
And now the rope is attached. And you notice that the swaying of the bridge slows. It doesn't stop completely, but it definitely slows down.
All right, now we got to do the other side.
Yep. One down, one to go.
I take the rope from the other side. And I again use a light fate.
Okay.
And tie the thing for a bonus die. Okay. I drop a 3 and have a 17.
And again, you tie the other side successfully. So now the bridge swaying has almost completely stopped.
Oh, maybe I just need to take one light fade off. Okay. Yep. So I come back.
All right. Who wants to start putting planks out on the bridge?
Wow, looks like it's me.
I can make planks.
And Lump will sort of go over to Bridge and to help take some planks off of the wall.
Okay. You rip some off. You rip the home sweet home one off.
I'm going to hand him back his picture and his home sweet home crochet.
Oh, thanks. My mom made me that. Okay. And now you have a plank which you could move over in place. Now, when you walk out onto the bridge, Lump, to put down this thing.
Whoa, time out. I am not going on this bridge.
You're just tossing it?
Yeah, no, I'm just making resources.
Give it to me.
That's it. I am the maker in it. I'm gonna take apart this wall and put a pile of planks together. Someone else can put these planks on the bridge.
I am more than happy to have Regina holding a piece of rope and tying it. I am considerably less sanguine about the idea of Regina holding on to the plank of a troll's house and flying it out to the bridge. I think there may be an issue of, as the Monty Python would say, weight ratios.
Well, I can't. First of all, I'm really strong, and second, I can drag it.
You could drag it across the bridge, but isn't there the holes in the bridge that you're trying to fix with the same planks?
I'll drag it. But so Troll Lump is on safe ground.
Right.
He hands me the plank.
Okay.
I drag the plank to where the bridge begins, so that like the end of the plank is still on the ground, and then I just drop the other end, like plunk.
Okay.
Am I like plunk like this?
Okay.
Like this?
And then what?
And then I look happy and get another plank.
Well, okay, so you're going to do this in each of these cases. I see. Okay. All right. I'm going to have you make then, please. Let me have you make an athletics check for me, please.
Okay.
And this would be acrobatics that we're looking at.
So if I don't have... So athletics, focus, acrobatics, and if I don't have a focus, which is the aspect?
The aspect in that event would be agility.
Okay. $14 with a double.
Okay. Yeah, that is actually a great success. So you were able to drop the planks on in position, and now you have put the planks back into position. The wood is now across the bridge. It looks to be mostly repaired. The only thing that's left is the slight sway in the bridge, but otherwise it looks more or less together. And Bridge the Troll looks extremely happy. Wow, you really are the best.
We have an engineer.
I'm
We are
really
the
impressed.
best. We're better than all the rest.
So maybe somebody should test it before we risk the donkey.
Or the troll.
Right, Chweddle will put his feet where his engineering degree is, and step onto the first plank.
First plank is fine.
Do you want to
Second
take
plank.
a rope? Do you want to take a rope with you just in case you
Everything's
drop?
fine.
Oh yeah, good point. Have we got a third rope?
Yep. No problem.
I'd like to tie it around my waist.
Okay.
Give Lump the other end. Hold this for me, would you?
Got it.
Thank you. Right. Cragman's off. He's just gonna go now.
Okay. As you get closer, the boards sort of creak and move alarmingly. But you get to the center of the bridge and it seems fine.
Right.
Then the dragon appears.
Lump, let go of the rope, because he's holding me back now. See,
Okay.
because there's only 50 feet of rope.
Right.
I'll carry on walking across the bridge. I'll catch you all later.
What if we need the rope?
Right. Yeah. Good
That was
point.
our last rope.
I untie the rope from around my waist
Okay.
so that Lump can pull it back, and then I keep going.
Okay.
So-
But you get to the other side and you're now on the other side of the bridge.
Okay, I'm
gonna look over. Sorry, go on.
I'll try to get the donkey across. And
I'd
you
like
take
to
Mark
cross first.
Okay,
was
donkey and
gonna
I
say,
will wait.
I weigh less
Go.
than I assume I weigh less than a donkey or a lump or whoever's carrying I forgot
Morris.
the guy's Morris.
Morris.
You know, in all this excitement, I forgot about Morris.
Come on, Flesh Ghost, your turn.
Okay, so he sets foot on the bridge. He puts one foot on, and then you hear like a and then on the far end of the bridge, Boots appears, wagging his tail, and you just hear Reginald mutter, "Show off."
Boots looks
You want a
fine.
rope?
Okay, so Reginald ties the rope to himself and hands it up to Lump and goes, "Thank you,"
Got it. Got it.
and proceeds.
A couple of cracking and sounds and creaking, but you make it through to the middle and then across to the other side of the bridge just fine. Feeling the planks bow beneath your weight.
Yeah, doing the halfway thing again. He unties the rope so that it can be pulled back.
Okay. Okay, and you make it to the other side.
I look over at Regina.
Okay, donkey,
Shall we? Now the question is, shall we put Morris on the donkey, or will you carry Morris across?
No, put human on donkey. Not
Okay.
big enough.
We put the human on the donkey, and we tie the rope around human and donkey.
Okay.
And now I try to lead the donkey over the bridge.
Okay. So, as you get and Bridge is just sort of shaking his head as he watches this and just like, it's a sad day. Only my father could see me now. Kind of shaking his head as the Bridge. And what happens is the donkey, who looks extraordinarily concerned about this whole process, as you go forward, the donkey kind of moves, right, left, and the Bridge is sort of like this, and then starts to get a little more, and the donkey, and sort of is like, starts to get very worried and begins to stumble back and forth, and the Bridge starts to really sway back and forth, and you start hearing some terrible creaking sounds.
Okay, I stopped the donkey like, hey, we're gonna wait it out. It's gonna get better. It's like, well, how is it called?
Yeah.
And I go like, yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I wait in the hoping that the swaying gets less.
It slowly gets less, but as you look, Regina, you could have sworn this looked different, but the Bridge now looks slightly off-center to you.
I stare the donkey in the eye. It is not burning. Come on. You get over it. You need to see the positive. And
Okay.
I try to lead the donkey on.
I need you, please, to make an animal handling check for me.
I don't have that.
Well, you're going to be making an insight check, I think, to try to calm or train. You're just going to roll 3d6 is what you're going to do, basically.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that's what's happening. No worries. Is this an important role? Should I use a fate,
This
maybe?
is an important roll.
I feel like this could be an important role.
No, you have wings. It's not an important role for you.
Morris has suffered enough anyway.
If Morris, well, that is quest over. Just saying.
Okay. I use my last fate point and
Okay.
roll.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, but the question is, do I drop a 4 or do I drop the 5?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know what? I dropped the 5 for a 12. If this
Right.
now works, it's gonna be like the coolest thing ever a donkey has ever done on a bridge with a human sleeping beauty on its back and a sprite on the brittle.
So
This is very specific, but still the coolest of that.
So what the rest of you see, both Lump and sorry, I guess it's because Lump, you haven't gone across yet, right? So it's so Reginald and Hweddle, what you see from one side, and then Lump, what you see from the other side is you see Regina just staring down the donkey, and then starts doing kind of like the hey, you could come on. Like this type of thing, right? And the donkey, hee-haw, hee-haw, and then apparently gets the donkey really riled up and starts galloping across the bridge at full speed. The bridge sways terribly, but it's sort of galloping, and Regina, you're just like, you can do it. And the gets to the other side, and the wagon crosses just like screech to the end, and the bridge sort of sways and then comes to a stop, and the donkey seems exceedingly excited. Hee-haw, 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 goes around high hoofing everybody, like all that. The donkey and the wagon and Regina have made it, and now only Lump remains. And Bridge comes up to you, Lump, and hits you on the shoulder and is just like, well, thanks for your help, Brend. If you make it over there and you ever get back here, we'll get this bridge sorted out proper. In the meantime, good luck going to whatever disaster and adventure awaits you. And if you see that sorceress, make sure you take her out.
Lumch looks over the bridge and looks back at bridge.
Do you need any more help here?
And he says, no, I'm going to have to throw some ropes back and forth. It's going to take me a while. Plus, I have to let them know the city's going to want to get this thing repaired. I mean, not because it's stone, but because it's a bridge. Can't have people breaking down bridges. That's the last thing you want, is to burn bridges. Know what I'm saying?
I get that. Stay safe, friend.
You as well. Thank you again.
So, one quick question. When the commotion with the donkey happened, what happened to the rope that I was holding?
It was pulled almost. No, it was pulled almost out of your hands, but it is still in your hands.
Okay, it's not tied to the donkey anymore, presumably.
Well, they would have released, I think, the donkey from it by this point.
Excellent stuff. So I'm gonna bundle the rope up, and I'm gonna start crossing.
Okay. So
slowly and deliberately slowly.
Right, I was going to say. So the bridge is still like swaying. You hear some terrible creaking sounds. The wind rushes from below, and behind you, you hear Bridge yell, "It's best not to look down. Just look straight ahead. There's nothing below you. I mean, nothing dangerous below you. It's fine."
And with that,
do you want me to hold the rope?
And with that, I'm going to look directly down.
Okay. It's like your world begins to spin, Lump. It's like the ravine below is very far down, and the bridge is sort of moving. And there's a part of you at one point where you feel almost like it's a very strange experience, like you're watching yourself swaying back and forth on this bridge as this thing just is like, rocking back and forth. I'm going to need you to make, please, for me, an athletics check here. This would be acrobatics, would be the focus.
Okay, don't have that.
Agility.
I'll get on to what Regina said in a second after the outcome of this roll. 3d6 plus agility. That's a 15.
Okay. So you manage to, it kind of sways, and you manage to catch, you sort of grab the railing, and the bridge almost starts to lean that direction, and then you sort of run back the other side. So you do this like serpentine pattern, right, of like running left and right as the bridge is sort of swaying back and forth, and you make a last like end of Mass Effect 2 Shepard leaping for, leaping from the edge of the cliff to the Normandy, and just get to the side, and there's a pause, and everyone looks at you, and you're on that side, and then you turn around, and the bridge just collapses into the ravine, just absolutely falls apart and collapses, and there's just a moment like a big cloud of dust goes up from the bottom of the cavern, and then you hear behind you, "Hee-haw!" from the donkey as the echo of the bray echoes across the ravine, and Bridge says, "Well, crap. All right, good luck to you. I guess you'll have to come back a different way."
I feel like this is not our fault.
Oh, we fixed the bridge. I think when you fix something, you get a free pass to break it afterwards. Pretty sure, yeah.
Is that what they teach in engineer school?
Glad I don't apply that to my medicine.
I would also apply that to medicine. Like, if you heal somebody and he's done a real knob, I feel like you should be allowed to punch him generally.
But then I have to heal him again.
Yeah, but you can then tell him,
No,
don't
I'm
be a
with
knob
this.
again.
I'm with the sprite on this.
So Lump stands up, looks over to Regina, and goes,
Think I'm good.
I also think you're good.
You asked if I wanted you to hold the rope.
Ah, yeah.
I panicked and ran.
I ran with a donkey. It was really cool.
It was.
We did a
very
lot of
cool.
high-speed things today.
That was impressive.
I think it's a very good thing that we painted those go faster stripes on the donkey.
Yes.
I think it went very well.
Yes.
What's on this side of the bridge?
What you see on this side of the bridge is the path extending forward towards fairly from the hilly area, eventually back into the swamp. And that should take you, if all goes well, closer and closer to this sage that you were going to find who knows all about curses and stuff like that. So right now there's just a bunch of sort of hill territory, but you know not very far from here is where you're going to get into the next stage of your journey, which is more swampland, from what you remember.
Lovely. We've got no time to waste. Let's go.
No, Lump sort of brushes himself off and starts walking.
All right. Having crossed the bridge, and by the way, I'm going to put us over where you are here. So that would be you've now crossed that bridge there. We crossed that bridge when we came to it, so to speak. You are now on this side. Just before I go on, this is actually a good spot for me to welcome everybody who is in the chat and is watching episode 322 of Pen and Pixels. This is Talisman Adventures. You are sponsored, as always, by Pegasus Spiele, and you're watching the amazing crew of Pyron Jade, Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, and Undeveloped Bruce as they have successfully crossed a bridge. And that means everything, with their ones in tow, with Morris and the rest of them in tow. The rest of the evening, or the rest of the day, I should say, proceeds relatively uneventfully. And it doesn't take long, maybe only about an hour, 45 minutes or so, before you are back out of the hilly area and back into the swamp, somewhere over now on this on this eastern side of the river. The terrain, is much more treacherous here, and the road is sometimes submerged even and difficult to follow, and you can definitely see that this road has seen better days. And by the end of the day, just as you're heading into evening time, the live oaks vanish entirely, and it is replaced instead with high marsh grasses and reeds, and there is a constant buzzing of creatures. In fact, do I have my soundtrack? I think I do. Here, let me add a little bit of extra. Thank you, Cheyenne. Let me just add a little bit of extra music here.
So just as you're adding music, as we're walking along, Weddle, you notice Lump sort of looking at the side of your head quite a lot, and like at one point sort of moves like your hair out of the way just to look at the side of your head.
Well, you'd have to move a little bit of the hat, and then the lace bonnet, and then the hair.
Yeah.
All right,
so it's
Lump,
like,
what are you doing?
Look like normal ears to me. You said engineers.
Good one, Lump. That's really good.
I just sort of, I laugh. Lump laughs, but in that way that you're like, Lump's laughing because you're laughing, not because he gets the joke.
And Weddle, gives him a good-natured, as you would someone like a tap on the shoulder, but is too high up, so like a tap on the thigh, like, ha ha ha, Lump. Classic.
Just continues walking.
As you cross into the marsh, by the way, let me remind everyone in chat that as we are playing this, you can help our intrepid adventurers. And you can do so at the moment, not only by inspiring them, but I'm also trying to get people sub to my YouTube channel. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers, which will be a big deal for my channel. And if you are able to go over and subscribe, it is free for you to do that. Please do not use burner accounts. They have to be real ones. Burner accounts will actually hurt, but if you have not done so, it is free for you to do so. And if you do so, and we can get up to 970, I will give these players another benefit, another boost in their adventure. So now is the time. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers, it's going to be a super big deal. But at the very least, the 970 is our next sort of sub goal. So please let me know. We are only 37 subscribers away. So any support people could give would be much, much appreciated. So as the day draws on to night, the skies grow dark, but not just with the nighttime. They also grow heavy with storm clouds. And about an hour after the light is starting to fade, raindrops begin to fall. And suddenly you are dealing not only with the marsh, but also with a rainstorm. The benefit of which is it keeps the mosquitoes off of you. The not as good benefit is the fact that now it's now raining.
Chwedyl gets his cloak and like covers it over his curth so that it doesn't get too wet.
Okay.
Because it can make the wood warp a bit and stuff. You know what it's like with a curth.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
Nobody wants to warped cuffed.
Let's see.
Definitely not. Definite medical attention for that. Lum doesn't mind the rain.
Do we look for some shelter?
I don't think we have time.
Should probably keep moving.
Although we do have time. I mean, maybe Morris doesn't have time. Right, Morris?
You look
It's
over.
going to
Morris
take
is non-responsive.
It's going to take us about 2 days to get there. There's 2 petals left on the rose.
I think we should keep moving.
Keep moving. Rain, fine.
Right, let's go.
Squelch.
Let's go.
Okay. All right. So you continue to squelch on. We have gone up to 964, so thank you. 6 away from the new benefit to the players. Thank you very much, everybody. So you squelch along through the now muddy, marshy weather, and it is very much not pleasant. And as time goes on and you go further on into the night, it also gets increasingly dark, so that after a while, it feels like you're not able to sort of see a whole lot, period, in front of you, as you just kind of put one foot in front of the other, basically, to the extent you can. A barren salt marsh surrounds you on every side, and there's the putrid stench of rotting things which fills your nostrils. Suddenly, a cold wind blows from the south, taking the breath out of you. The biting chill worms its way through your clothing, no matter how thick or thin it is, and a light mist floats down from the cloudy skies in front of what very limited visibility you have, as though the heavens are wailing in despair. And as your eyes adjust to this kind of gray, murky darkness, you can see the once solid ground has given way to a sodden morass, a vast expanse of marshy land. The road has become little more than a memory. You gaze across the endless quagmire of peat and marsh grass, seeking your path, but the rains have covered the narrow path in most places, and it is now increasingly hard to see.
Hello. Hello. I would like to cast Night Sight on myself, please.
Okay. And Night Sight. I think Night Sight basically just allows you to see in darkness, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it gives you Night Sight as described under the Elf Ancestry in Chapter 4 Ancestries.
I see that, right. So while under the stars, and the effect lasts until the following dawn. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have you make a spellcasting test then. This is a difficulty 11 is the difficulty. So you have spellcasting, and this would be basic nature. So do you have a focus in nature, by chance?
I can't remember what we said last time. I've got the skill of spellcasting, but I don't have a focus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess this would just be then 3d6 plus aspect, which would be wits, I would suspect.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Is this not something to do with your nature spellcasting skill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something I stumbled upon on the weekend as well. Like, you get a skill like arcane spellcasting, but then you still need to take the skill spellcasting and a focus in arcane? Or what? Because I don't understand the rules there. Or in your case, you get nature spellcasting, you still need to take spellcasting and a focus in nature.
Right. So yeah, so you would take you would have to take the spellcasting skill, and the nature would actually be resolve. Actually, not I just saw. So it would be spellcasting with a focus in nature, with resolve as the aspect. So if you don't have the nature focus, then it would still be just resolve. Weddle is what that would be. So that would be spellcasting plus resolve.
What is my resolve? 5. Pow!
So we have got 3, 6, not 14. Okay, that is also a great success, which means that you were able to suddenly everything sort of shows up here. And this is what you get, Weddle, that is actually interesting to you. Now, you have heard rumors of this place, but you were hoping not to actually see it in your lifetime, because this is acting in a particular way. Your sight is able to show you much of the sort of general area, but there are gray mists that billow around you despite your night sight. And there is only one place that you know of that is like this. But I'm going to give you I'm going to give you information about this in a minute based on your success. This is almost certainly the Marsh of Despair. It's one of the few places that resists the ability to be able to see through the mists that surround it. Now, here's what you know about that. The land was never particularly bright and cheery in this area of the Grey Swamp, which is where you are now. But the the Marsh of Despair happened because there was a branch of the Assassin's Guild headquartered here about a century ago, and the guild members generally tended to dispose of bodies in the marsh. And over time, a gloom descended upon the marsh, and there were foul and treacherous creatures drawn to the corpses and the evil acts of the assassins, some of whom worshipped malign gods. And you know from stories that you've been told, Weddle, that the danger in the marsh is not so much what you can't see, it's what you can't feel. Because the longer anyone spends time in the marsh, the more a creeping sense of doom and hopelessness will sink into you. It's also super easy to get lost.
All right, guys, and gals, and other. What we got here is an absolute miserable little marsh, and we're gonna start feeling even more miserable than we do because of the rain. Reginald, do you know of this? The Marsh of Doom, or what was it called?
Marsh of Despair.
The Marsh of Despair. Is this, in your kind of area?
Would I have? Is a good question.
I think you would have, but you would have heard of it in another context, Reginald. You would have heard it in the context of you too know, of course, about discarding dead bodies. But I would say that for most ghouls that take care of for most grave keepers, the ones who are honorable have a lot of contempt for the assassins that just dumped bodies in the swamp. Like, this is not how you do it, you know what I mean? It's that kind of amateur hour, because you know full well that if you're not careful, you draw ghosts and other creatures to this place, and it's just not how you do things. So you had heard that there was a marshy area somewhere to the south of the city that was notorious, again, a century ago, for having a bunch of bodies dumped there. You hadn't heard it called the Marsh of Despair, but if this is the same one, then yeah, then you would have heard of it in general.
Sounds like something I heard of was supposed to be round here. dumping ground for bodies. No respect. I mean, the bodies themselves are just meat, but if you don't treat the spirit right, it can't move on. And that's evil. It disturbs the balance.
Yeah. Assassins, am I right? Always up to no good. Do you have, with your great knowledge of spirits that don't want to pass on and stuff like that, you got any suggestions for how we should proceed?
Don't anger them.
I go by that philosophy in life.
I should be able to sense if we're getting close to any. Might be able to persuade them that they don't belong here anymore. No guarantees, though.
All right, so the plan is we just keep going, try and get through the best we can. You're gonna help us deal with any ghosties, and I'll keep us cheerful, Play my curve. We'll have a good time. We'll have a jolly little party going across the swamp now.
So just for Arvin the party, so mechanically I do have some things that might be relevant here.
Okay.
So
you're our guide too, so remember.
Yes. So my background is as a soul keeper, so I do consider it is my purpose to shepherd souls of the dead to another realm, which as a result of that, that's how I have boots. Any non-violent encounter with spirits or other undead strangers, they react to me one step higher on the attitude chart.
Okay.
So slightly friendlier towards me.
Okay.
Slightly. I can always sense the presence of spirits within 10 meters, even if invisible. And I can converse with spirits that are otherwise mute.
Yeah, this is going to be a good moment for Reginald. Then I have a suspicion. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is this is going to be a little bit of an exploration, although it's going to be somewhat modified from the norm. So remember, the guide here is the one who makes decisions about where to go and which trail to follow. And so the guide, I'm going to ask you to make... now, I'm going to give the players a choice here, a devil's bargain, if you will, about how they want to handle things. Because, remember you said you were trying to sort of race against time. So you didn't actually stop yet. So it's now evening, and you're in the swamp in the evening time. So the question is, does the party want to try to push forward across the swamp? Now, if you do this, you're going to be accelerating your timetable, but there is a risk because the marsh is dangerous at all times and more dangerous at night, and because the party does run the risk of growing tired from, exhaustion. Maybe not Reginald, but like Regina, Lump, and Hweddle, sleep is still a thing. So those are the sort of things to think about for the party.
One extra little wrinkle is Reginald can't see in the dark.
Ah, yes. Well, then there's that.
Mm.
Would Reginald like to see in the dark?
It might be useful if we are pushing ahead.
You wear that spell of yours, Hweddle, lasts only until the next morning. I think you probably saw that, but just in case.
Yeah.
I like this place. Move forwards.
Less time we spend here, the better. No knowing how restless the spirits are. We may be disturbing them just by being here.
The place feels sad.
It was a tragedy. No care put into their disposal.
I cling to the donkey's bridle. I can't see a thing.
Yeah.
He apparently says he can't see a thing.
I don't want to use all my spell points giving night sight to everyone, because then if we encounter something I won't have any. But I'll definitely give one to our guide.
Then somebody else will need to lead the donkey.
Yeah, good point.
I'll just cling to it. It's a good donkey. It can be easily led. Or, I mean, we could use torches or stuff.
Oh
Or is
yeah,
this-
that's a thing.
We may have been overthinking this entire scenario.
I was like, all right, you know.
Will torches attract ghosties and ghouls?
Can't see it being any worse than just being here.
All right, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Which is it is.
I take out a tiny torch.
Okay.
I take out a lantern. Not to be
I
fancy.
take out my torch and my tinderbox as well. I'm just very tiny tinderbox, just trying to light my torch.
I am going to need you, please, to make a tinker test for me. Anyone who wants to light their torch, because it is raining and marshy, and there is something very odd about this place.
I won't be able to make that test since I don't have Tinker at all. I think it's one of the you have to have skills.
This is a case where I'll override that. You can always
Okay.
try to light something, but it will just be 3d6, Reginald, for that.
In
But
that
those
case-
who have Tinker, which aspect is it?
It would be... just a moment. I think it's agility. Yeah, agility.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, Reginald has got an 11. Okay, I will come back to that in a minute. Okay, Regina's got a 14. Okay,
Chweddle got a 10.
and Weddle got a 10. Weddle, you do not find success. The thing will not light, and you've lit lanterns before. You feel like once you get it lit, it'll obviously stay lit because it's a lantern, not a torch. But getting the damn flint and the tinder to, like even protecting from it, because there's basically the mist. I don't know if you've ever been inside, if you've been in a fog cloud, or if you've ever been, what am I talking about? Half of these people are in the UK. All you live in is a fog cloud, from what I've been told. But where the rain goes practically sideways, and that sort of thing, the dampness of it. Growing up in New England, I ran into this too. And it's just, you can't get the goddamn thing lit. Regina, you were able to with some difficulty. I think I like the idea that by sheer brute force, Regina's just like, light, damn you, and it just lights finally. Let's see, Reginald had
Sorry, I didn't roll. What was the aspect again?
it was, the aspect would be agility, but it's tinker, and then agility would be the one.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
Okay, so 15, yes, and then is that let's see, so we had a 10 for, a 10 for Weddle, so that was a no. We had, Reginald, you have the exact same problem. You can't get this thing done, but Regina and Lump are able to get theirs lit. So you get those two lit. Reginald and Weddle are still struggling to get theirs lit.
Can I lean my lantern over someone's torch?
Yes, you can do that, yes.
Does that light it?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I'll hold my giant hand over my torch, sort of like in a position so I'm trying to shield it from some of the rain so that we can light Weddle's lantern.
Okay. All right, you're able to do that. Assuming Reginald does the same thing with someone.
If that works.
It's finally lit. And when it's lit, all of you look around and you can see the crazy shadows being cast, the wild shadows being sort of cast against the walls of mist as the light flickers. And you hear the sound of creaking, the sound of, frogs, presumably, and bugs buzzing, and, of course, the light rain falling all around you. And you just feel yourself kind of sink in a little bit to the mud, and this all just sucks. It's all bad. It's just bad.
Not a nice place.
Yeah.
Even worse than the city.
Let's just get through here.
Okay, guide. I would like you to make for me, please, a survival test. This is going to be insight as you were exploring.
Okay. Let's put the stats. So it's going to be 3d6
And
plus
I'm going to
3.
increase the difficulty with one of the handy-dandy dark fates that was given to me.
You beat me to the punch and stole my idea because I was going to spend a light fate to get
can
a
still
bonus
do that.
die. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to throw in a bonus die, even more so now.
I'm a sucker for narrative. It's dark in here, like a dark fate dark. No.
Okay, so 4d6 plus 3. Go.
Oh, happy birthday, Izzy's. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Z's. Well,
Okay.
I'm going to drop the 3.
Wow, hello. All right. That is, in fact, a great success. Let me talk about
Extraordinary success.
Yes, absolutely.
Extraordinary success.
Best kind of success.
The best success.
It's the most unbelievable success of all time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. I am going to... Okay. As you were passing along through, and Reginald, you're leading... I guess you're one of the people leading the donkey. Who actually is leading the donkey, since Regina was clinging to it, so to speak? Unless Regina is now leading again because you have the torch, Regina.
With the torch, I can lead the donkey.
Okay.
I lead the donkey.
So as you're all moving along...
Unless somebody wants to lead the donkey. I'm really donkey sharing.
I think it makes sense for me not to be leading the donkey since I need to focus on the path.
Yes.
Reginald, you begin to hear the sound of water, and you're like, well, of course, it's raining. But the rain actually has begun to sort of calm down. And now what you hear is some other kind of water, like a flowing water, as if something like a brook or a river or stream or something. Not far through the mist, you can hear it.
Okay. Do I sense any spirits nearby at the moment?
You do not.
Okay.
I should have mentioned before that you have been sensing spirits a lot throughout here, but you did not, so my apologies. But not at the moment, no.
Yeah. Okay. We've definitely passed through a lot of spirits, but they don't seem to be paying us no never mind at the moment. Do hear water, though. And not this water. He points at the feet. More like flowing. Not still, stagnant. Somewhere ahead.
Can Hweddle see anything outside of our ring of torchlight up ahead?
No, more shadows. And, Hweddle, even you have begun to doubt yourself. There's just, the weight of this place just weighs in on you. But no, you don't see anything unusual. I mean, more unusual than what you're already in.
He's just going to start, like, humming a song to himself, rocking slightly.
Okay.
Think we should go over to the running water. Comes from somewhere, goes to somewhere. Rest of this place just goes on.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, Reginald will start making his way towards the water if there's no objections.
Let's go.
Oh, I follow.
You make your way about 5 minutes in, and the water sound gets louder and louder. And then you find yourself next to what is not a waterfall, but what looks like a broken down but still functional fountain. At one time, this may have been a very beautiful fountain. You can see your lamplight/torchlight reveal sort of reflects off of marble, maybe kind of like a white marble that sort of surrounds the fountain. And you can see that there is the broken neck of a swan that might have been the top of where the water is supposed to come out. And now it just kind of comes sort of haphazardly, but it's still flowing out of that statue and flowing down, and it is not brackish or anything, and it's flowing down into the basin of this fountain.
Reginald's going to go over and have a look at the fountain to see if he recognizes anything about it from various books he's read over the last 100 years.
I will give you an opportunity to determine this if you have a decipher skill.
I actually do.
I thought you did. decipher, and the focus for this would be, let's see. I would say this would be probably riddles is the focus for this one.
I have no focus, just basic decipher.
So then it would be wits, which is the aspect for that.
Okay, so that'll be +4. And you know what? Since it's that time right now, I'll throw in another point of light fate. Just
Okay.
for the funsies.
Okay.
So let's go with 4d6 +4. Well, I mean,
Dun, 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 bow.
well,
Okay.
I'll drop one of the ones then for an 11. And enjoy your dark fate.
You don't know what the... Thank you, I appreciate that. You don't know what the hell this is. I mean, it's obviously a fountain, but you are not familiar with this. You, again, if this is in the Marsh of Despair, you never heard about anything good coming out of it, but you never heard about a fountain of any kind in this area.
Don't normally find fountains in the swamp.
Is it a ghost?
Reginald prods it with the stick of his scythe, which I
Cluck,
imagine
cluck,
makes
cluck,
like a yeah.
Or, well, I mean, if it's in the water, that's bloop, 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 and it does not seem like a ghost.
Oh, so the fountain's partially underwater.
Yes.
Right.
But the top of it isn't. I mean, the top of it's just flowing water out.
Okay.
Why is it here? What is it? Is it alcohol? Is it water? What does it give?
It's a fountain.
I have seen fountains with wine.
Right.
Drink this.
I volunteered to go over the bridge first, so I'm not going to drink from the fountain. But I'll watch one of you do it.
Shouldn't drink from this place.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Probably wise.
Maybe it's
Don't like this place.
something rare that we can sell. Maybe we should take it with us. Like not the whole fountain, but like water from the fountain.
It'd be
Don't
beneficial
taste-
to bottle it.
Don't take sad from sad places.
No, you're right. You've always got to bring the happiness to the sad places and not take the sad with you for the rest of your life. You're so
You're gonna
wise,
paint-
Lump.
You're
The
gonna
donkey
paint the fountain
wanders
now,
over
right?
to the fountain.
Nope.
Yeehaw.
Pull the donkey on the bridle. Like,
Brr.
nope.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw.
Stay. Sit.
The donkey just like puts its rear into the water of the marsh.
So
I
now
look
we have a wet
satisfied.
ass.
Looks completely miserable, this wet ass.
Okay.
Now he's got a cursed bum. I don't know. No, it doesn't matter. I'm really tired.
It's like curry night.
What's ruling on doing a check for someone else has already done? Because I also
You could do a check if you
Quaddle.
wish. I would allow that if you have a decipher.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, you could do that if you want.
Nice. And I was gonna ask, I know you said wits, which is usual for decipher, but the rulebook does say that for complex languages or riddles, you can use insights.
Yeah,
You
but this
did
does
say
not
the word
apply.
riddle.
Nah, normal. Yeah, but this does not apply to that. This is a more. Well, I can't say what it is, but this is something that would require more wits as opposed to the insight. I thought
Alright,
about that too.
Well, alright, that's fine. I'll give it a shot. The wits is not my best.
So, Weddle, there's something that kind of tickles the back of your memory about fountains in foul places. The problem is you're having trouble remembering whether it's fountains in foul places are fair or fountains in foul places are foul. And you don't remember the sort of line of the song that you learned perhaps long, long ago about what it is. It could be either one, that fountains may actually be, this is something you want to drink in a foul place, or is it that you want to avoid it in a foul place?
Gosh. God, this place is really getting to me. It's not often I forget the lyrics to a song. Fountains in fair places are foul? No. Fair? No. Does anyone know this song? Fountains in fair places.
If
I've
you
forgotten
sing
the
it, I
tune.
might be able to hum it.
No, I think oh my gosh, have I lost the ability to sing? I can't remember the words.
Yeah, your memory has been slipping lately, Hweddle, and Reginald, it's been, man, you just like your graveyard was a lot more sensible than this. And Lump, I mean, what good is your strength in a place of this kind of? And Regina, yeah, you're a great warrior, but what good does it matter when you're in this place where the mosquitoes are as large as you, and even the donkey is depressed? I mean,
I hugged myself to the donkey and looked depressed.
yeah.
You're right, donkey.
I look over at Reginald.
Can we leave now?
I don't see the point. Even if we do this place will always be here. Kind of makes all my efforts in my graveyard null and void.
And it will always, everything will be wet. And bad.
Lump just sits next to the fountain and just sighs.
Lump next to the fountain? Where exactly?
Well, describe the fountain for me again.
Half
Is it
broken.
Sort of stereotypical? Yeah.
Well, it would have been at some time it would have been like maybe even white marble, but the marble is now half broken, therefore half submerged. There is still stuff flowing out of the top, but the water is just kind of flowing into the swamp around it.
So would there have been like an edge that you could have
At
sat
one
on?
time, yes.
Is there a bit of that still there?
Yes, it's in contact with the water, but sort more or less.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll sit on the edge of it.
Roll 1d6.
Okay. Three.
Lump, as you sit there and you kind of just like trail your hand in the water, there's a moment where you look up and for just a moment the mist around you seems to clear, and above you you see a glittering star in the night sky, and it occurs to you for just a moment that no matter how much down here must suck and how much down here it is terrible to be in this marshy area, there is a sky above that looks upon the good and evil alike, that looks upon criminal and cleric alike, that looks upon troll and dwarf alike, and that all of those who look at it can feel unified in the sense that there is something beyond this moment and this place. And as you think about that for just a moment, you feel a moment of hope, maybe. And then the mist returns and, all that.
Can't stay here.
Lump stands up straight as he can. And is anybody else sat down at the minute? Or you're just stood still?
Except for the donkey. The donkey is kind of semi-standing again, but...
I'm kind of clinging to the donkey's mane.
Okay, well, I'm going to put my hand on Wed's shoulder, sort of stand Wed's up a bit straighter and say,
Can't stay here. Must move forwards. This place exists. Hope still exists even in this place. We can't stay here.
Lump, I just don't see it. I just look
We will.
around you, Lump. There's nothing but darkness and mist and misery. It goes on. It just goes on. When will it end?
So I put both just like giant hands on Wed's shoulders, like carefully, because I'm like, and carefully put my hands on Wed's shoulders, look Wed's dead in the eye, and say,
You help Lump when Lump in dark place many years ago. Now Lump help you from dark place.
Okay, Lump. Okay.
We leave soon. Come on.
Now I'm going to go over to Reginald. I'm going to put my hands on his shoulders. I'm going to look at him straight in the face and say,
This place shouldn't exist. Graveyards like yours must be very cared for. You should carry on that tradition. Not in this place, though. The departed depend on you. That's why we need to leave.
You're right. This is just the first stage of the existence of the soul. And people like me need to usher them onto the divine when it is their time, either naturally or unnaturally. Maybe sometime when all this is over, I can come back here and put the spirits to rest in this evil place.
And we can come back and do good.
But for now...
and he pats Reginald on the shoulder again and goes,
We come back together and do good.
Together.
now I'll go over to the donkey and Regina. I'll sort of pet the donkey a bit. Regina, are you still sort of like clinging onto the donkey at the minute?
Yeah, I'm in the donkey's mane, more or less.
Sprite strong. Sprite fearless. Sprite no end here. You have glory and honor in front of you. There's no end for Sprite.
I poke my head out of the mane and look at the troll. I'm just so sad. And then I take my head under the mane again.
The donkey says, hee-haw.
And I poke out again. And the donkey as well. And I poke back.
Sadness okay. Darkness is okay. But true warriors can move through darkness, even the darkest places of their heart. This is just a place. You're a true warrior. You've been in darker places before. Together, we can get through this. But we need each other's strength. I need your strength to get through this.
I poke my head out. I am very strong.
Hee-haw.
You're the strongest Sprite I know.
I am the strongest sprite I know.
So let's go show the world.
Yes. Donkey, stand up.
And the donkey kind of like staggers to its feet, but with remarkably little complaint based on how the donkey normally is.
There's a very gentle pat on the side of the donkey from Lump. He's very aware, he can sometimes not know his own strength. Very gentle pat.
Good donkey.
And the donkey kind of nuzzles up against you as if understanding. And as the 5 of you, counting the donkey, well, the 6 of you counting Morris, roll out.
I'm not giving Morris a pep
It's like, look, you're still not moving. But even not moving people have a right to not move somewhere else.
You're a very good doorstep.
And as you move out of the way, move away from the fountain, the mist temporarily parts. And if any of you had remained behind to see, when the mist closes behind you and you make your continued dreary way, but still making your way through the swamp, you might have seen the faintest glow of light around the water and the marble base of the fountain, and then slightly fades away as of a shimmering star as the party makes their way onward. And I'm going to be honest, chat, I'm going to bring the session to a close there because that is not what I was expecting, and that's lovely, so I'm not going to ruin it. I was going to have this other space stop, but that was really lovely stuff. So suddenly I'm really moved, and everybody is, and this is not what I was not what I was expecting, but this is great work. My goodness, really, really lovely. And yeah, all of a sudden, like Lump bringing the motivational speaking to to the mix. My goodness. Good stuff. This was very good as well from the party as a whole because you had certain things to consider. First of all, there was the whole bridge situation and trying to figure out how to get across. I love the sort of Blues Brothers-y, you all get across the bridge 5 seconds before the whole bridge collapses thing. And everyone adding something. I do apologize to Bruce for bringing back unfortunate memories of falling downstairs. I really had not intended that. And then when you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's, well, shoot. But this time you landed on something soft, right? Just like, not stone, really soft, like soft, lawn. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. But then you made your way back up and then into this swamp. And the Marsh of Despair, actually, Reginald gets an assist on that because Reginald seeing as the guide, having a great success meant you found a place of interest, this place of wonder. And that set up something which then allowed the rest of you to kind of lead to where you were. And Weddle, your information that you had about this place was also really important because it meant that you could kind of convey to people like, hey, so this is the Marsh of Despair and that's really bad, and so you had knowledge and information because of your night sight that might not have otherwise been had. So basically everybody had a role in here, and that was really cool to see. So, and then we had this like super moving, maybe appropriate for our times thing too, which was really cool. So good work from everybody. I will start on the bottom of the column. Bruce, really, as I said, good stuff with that night sight. Apologies for making you relive an unfortunate thing from a couple hours ago. But and then we'll see what happens as some of that, the ability to see in darkness is going to be important, obviously, as we go through this marsh. So you may have called to use that spell again. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
That was loads of fun. I would also just wanted to say that if you love Lump's motivational talks and empathy and kindness, that I'm sure some of us here know that's just what Mike is like in real life.
Yep.
So if you feel
Amen.
that you need a Lump pep talk in your life, it's okay. Mike exists, so you're all good.
Can confirm.
That was loads of fun. Building bridges, going through the swamps, that speed and donkey. I think we just love things going faster than they should go.
It's true.
In this campaign.
That's the despair here, right? Is everything's too slow. Like that's where you're really just like, this isn't fast enough,
Yeah,
So.
exactly. You're not going to find me anywhere next because I am still on ADSL, which is the copper wire internet that shouldn't still exist. So until I have fiber broadband, I'm not actually doing anything, but I'll keep you all updated.
Thank you, Bruce, very much. Good stuff with the night sight, and I look forward to seeing what happens. You might see possibly Bruce and the other Talisman folks a couple times next month, depending on whether the ArvCon schedule fits in. We will see. But thank you, Bruce. Good work tonight. Also, good work tonight, obviously, from Mike. Mike, that was kind of out of nowhere, honestly. The moment that I gave you, which was partially taken, I mean, it was based on something that you rolled, and obviously that was what started it all off. But, what you did with that in Lump's inimitable style was very powerful. I think everyone kind of felt that for a moment, just like, damn, man, like Lump bringing the knowledge, lest you think that all we do here, Chad, is just kind of goof around. No, all right? This is moving. It's every emotion. And I can confirm exactly what Bruce said. I totally agree with that about Mike. So Mike is good people. So how did you feel about, that was a lovely moment anyway. And of course we had some good funny moments too, but just lovely moments from Lump. So how did you feel about today's session with Lump dropping the wisdom? Thank you for coming to his TED Talk. And where will the fine folks find you next?
Thank you for coming to my troll talk. I adored it. That did absolutely come out of nowhere, but I just thought in that moment, that is how Lump would react. He's got a good heart. He sees things in maybe darker and lighter versions of shades of grey. So sometimes it is, all doom and despair, or there is hope. So it's easy for him to be very honest with people. And I think that's kind of the vibe I'm going for with Lump. He's big heart, so yeah. Anyway,
Came through.
you can, yeah, absolutely. Even thinking about giving those sort of motivational talks is putting a bit of a lump in my throat, so no pun intended. But yeah, I've genuinely really enjoyed it. Cannot wait to play again. Cannot wait to play more games with lovely people on the internet. So if you want to find any of my shenanigans on the internet, you can find me everywhere at Peripheral Mike. I'm not really doing a lot because there's a lot going on behind the scenes and a lot going on with work at the moment. But that is where you can find me. So I hope you are all lovely to each other. You all embrace your inner lump and you just be wonderful.
Good stuff. Thank you, Mike. I should also point out, Arudnell Troll's educational dictation talk is the TED Talk. I love it. Yes, pretty much exactly right. Also, I do want to say, I should have mentioned before I left Bruce behind, after talking to Bruce a little bit, that also I want to give credit to the other players who also immediately kind of picked up on the whole despair and it all sucks, and you all expressed that in your own character-driven ways, and I thought that was really cool too. So I do want to acknowledge that, and it made Lump's comments work that much more because of where you folks were all coming from. So good stuff on that. Thanks, Mike. Good stuff today with Lump. Good stuff also with Reginald. That information, I think, about where the dead were and some of the information you got that's Reginald specific, Saber, I think was important here in the sense of, as you said, like, Reginald's not going to care about maybe the dead body physically, but he sure as hell is going to care about the spirits. And the fact that you just dump a bunch of bodies here in a swamp and figure like, all right, you're good, that would be sort of viscerally repulsive, it seems to me, to Reginald. And that was sort of what was playing into this sense of despair that you were able to play off of. Like, what is it like for a ghoul to despair? And it's that idea of like, not like, well, death awaits us, but like rather there will always be a place like this where the spirits can find a place to, to rest. And like, that would be the terrible thing for someone like Reginald. So I give you credit for thinking through those things as well. And obviously you had other stuff that you did today too. But that in particular, I like the way that you played off of Reginald there and thought about the way that Reginald would react to this. And Reginald is going to be quite important with the spirits as we go through in this, as we will see at the very beginning, in fact, of next session. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Oh, this was the whole session was fun, but certainly this last hour, wow.
Yeah.
Like you say, like getting to the swamp, definitely very interesting for Reginald. I mean, the fact that he called it evil, and Reginald is very sort of unemotional and not driven to extremes of description for anything.
Sure.
So for him to that's very, very strong wording, even if he's not raging and expressing a lot of emotion. The fact that he would describe something in as starkly as this is an evil place is definitely a good way to get where his mind's at with regards to it. But yeah, other things as well. It's like fun at the bridge. You got to do a bit of meditation.
Yes.
Scare the crap
scare the crap out of Regina.
It's like he's been on the road for weeks, months, maybe at this point. He hasn't had a lot of quiet time with nature for him to just relax and take it all in. Unfortunately, he also looks like a corpse when he's not moving. And I also like the fact that while Reginald can be very literal, Lump is even more literal. So there were some funny moments with like Reginald being literal, and then Lump taking that even more seriously. So all, but very, very good. Especially like everyone's character moments there in the swamp were really nice to see how everyone was sort of their own character's personal misery that they were feeling, and then Lump for the win. That was very nice. So let's see where we go now in this horrible, evil swamp full of the dead. But in more cheery terms, I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be a release, so I can't say too much more about that because we'll have to wait and see how that goes with the schedule. And then in less cheery terms, we'll be back with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is a great game, but very dark.
Very uplifting, very pleasant, and
That's why you bring a Malkavian along. They're the life of the party.
It's always hope and, dreams and all that.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Definitely be worth checking out. Thanks, Saber. Always a pleasure. And last but certainly not least, Pyron. I really love the relationship that you've built up with this donkey. who has somehow become a cipher and a reflection of your own emotional state. It's not entirely clear to me how that's all worked, but it makes perfect sense to me on another sense. And also the idea that, again, like Regina's sense of despair is a little bit different than everybody else's, because it's just specific to the way Regina does things. But also, Regina's willingness to, try to figure things out, even if that's not Regina's particular fort, right, or a particular ability. Like I go underneath the bridge and I look, and I don't know what the hell that is. Right, well, I'm gonna light this torch in the swamp. Just light up, God damn it! And then it like lights up because like it's afraid not to or whatever. Like all of that was sort of really enjoyable to watch Regina being Regina. And then of course that moment, as we just talked about, of despair, where Regina's despair is itself quite different and becomes almost there's a lot of pathos, I think, in Regina's reaction, and it's not a comfortable state to be sort of like depressed and down. That doesn't feel like Regina's normal state of being, but everyone has those moments. So it was nice to see that kind of being played out a little bit in Regina in reaction to this. How did you feel about today's section? Where will the people find you next?
I absolutely loved today's session, although I was and I still am a bit tired. I'm still suffering a little bit from this post-COVID exhaustion, so I hope to be on Thursday, but I cannot promise it.
Yeah.
And yeah, for Regina, she was willing to share that she was like really, really sad, but she is not one who is good at articulating her inner world in that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I was not planning on having relations with the donkey, so that was a thing that just happened. And oh yeah, so hopefully on Thursday, but I can't promise anything like right now.
Well, continue
streaming on Thursday. I just shouldn't talk anymore.
Yeah. Continue to take care of yourself, Pyron, and obviously everyone understands either way, but continue to take care of yourself. And thank you all for a really enjoyable session. That was really a great fun. And I'm glad that we're going to get a chance to hopefully do a couple, because at the very least we'll get Pyron for one next month before certain incidents happen with other musicians and things that require Pyron to be gone at places. But we should have Pyron back for that. And of course, you'll have Pyron and Saber and Peripheral Mike back with us next week for some Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So that will be happening as well. Otherwise, of course, with Bruce, we'll be back here next month with more Talisman Adventures. Chat, can we get some love for the amazing players? Pyron Jade, Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, and Undeveloped Bruce. Good work today, players. Thank you so much. And I will see you folks soon. Bye for now. Okay. Good stuff from everybody. It was sort of a very sort of contemplative, right? Like very thoughtful kind of, let's kind of process through this. And that was nice. One of the nice things about D&D and about related things to it, like Talisman, is that these are games that you need to be prepared, but you do not want to be over-prepared. And you don't want to drag people down a certain path, because if you do that, and if you drag people down a certain path, what ends up happening most of the time is you end up taking them out of these moments. I certainly knew about the existence of this Marsh of Despair and that they were going to have to be dealing with it, but I didn't know exactly what that was going to look like, honestly, and what the result was going to be. So having a chance to really see these players go through it was really lovely. So that was great. I continue to be very fortunate that I have such good players to play with on all of my campaigns, and I really enjoyed this also. So that is the deal with that. But I wanted to thank you as well, chat, for being a part of this, for being connected to it. And also, I wanted to thank all of you for the ones who were able to sub today to my YouTube channel, which is now sitting at 966 out of 1,000. So we are only 34 subs away from that 1,000 subs. And I would ask, if anyone wants to see more of this campaign, if you want to see more of my content on my channel and more Pen and Pixels, which has been running for a number of years now, all of that can be found archived over on my channel. Literally thousands of hours of content at this point can be accessed on my channel. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really will support the channel, because once we get to 1,000 subscribers, all different cool kinds of things are going to happen. So that's I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that folks will help us make that possible in the process of going through this. Otherwise, though, that is going to do it for us today on GogCom's Twitch channel, and it's going to do it for me over on my channel as well. I have to go unpack from my little mini vacation I was on. I've got some work I got to get done tonight. And some other stuff in advance of heading back to school on Thursday. And we don't have anyone coming up tomorrow until Darksaber 2K, who's going to be showing up right around the same time, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be tomorrow, Wednesday. And then I will be back on my channel on Friday with, I believe, Esper Genesis, I think. He said, not sure. Hold on a second. Let me find out. It is going to be, yes, Esper Genesis. So we've got Esper Genesis on Friday. And then we have the continuation of Eberron, Oracle of War, which I'm playing on my channel. And that actually is going to be moving into Season 2. So you're definitely going to want to do that. So that's going to be neat. And I am excited for it. So thank you. And hopefully you'll all be able to be a part of it. Please, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to follow us here on GogCom. Please make sure to subscribe to us on GogCom's channel, because you can get those awesome custom sub badges and emotes to use everywhere across Twitch. And of course, you can also support all of the streamers that we have on here as well. Yeah, third protocol activated. So that's the deal with that. And also, I want to make sure to remind everybody that ARVCon, which is my charity event to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, and to which GOG has been a big contributor in the past, is going to be back next month. It's going to be happening on the last weekend of May. For those of you in the States, that's Memorial Day weekend. For everybody else, that is May 27th, 28th, 29th, and then we'll have a bonus overflow day on the 30th. We will have a bunch of tabletop games, possibly including some of the games that you saw today. We are going to have some Esper Genesis, some Infinity and Beyond with Eberron. We're going to have some Adventures in Middle Earth. We will have as well a concert, if all goes well. We're going to have some other things happening. So we got a bunch of stuff happening, and yeah, I'm excited for all of it. So please mark your calendars. That's going to be happening the last weekend is going to be of May, and that's a big deal. And then after that, my Greyshade novel is going to be coming out, so mark your calendars for that too. And as I say that, we have now moved up to 967. Thank you very much, Pyron. We are now only 33 away. 33 away from reaching 1,000. So I really hope you folks are able to keep pushing. We're so close now, so close you can almost taste it, to getting that 1,000 subscribers, and that really will make a difference when we get there. So thank you. And yes, I could not agree more with that, Patry. That's going to be important. Our vocalist is not this week. It's next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is when we've got our vocalist. So I'm going to rise up on out of here and get moving. I want to thank Pegasus Spiele, our sponsor, as always, for Talisman Adventures. I want to thank our wonderful players, Pyron Jade, Darksaber 2K, Peripheral Mike, and Undeveloped Bruce, as always. And of course, chat, I want to thank all of you. I will be back here next Tuesday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern for Pen and Pixels as we continue on with D&D Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is 3 of those players you just saw plus Inanda instead of Undeveloped Bruce. I will also be back on my own channel next week at noon Eastern. Before that 4:15 o'clock stream, I'll be back on with Psychonauts, which is the Patreon-fueled chat-chosen game of the month that has been instructed that I will play. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I am looking forward to that. That should be a fun time. That is happening next Tuesday. But that's going to do it for me. Yeah, please do give my channel a sub or a follow. We'd appreciate it. Thanks, Illness. I appreciate it. And I will catch all of you lovely people soon. Everyone, please follow, sub, do all that good stuff, and I will see you folks soon. Don't forget tomorrow, more of Darksaber 2K with a cool new release happening sometime around 4 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be back on my channel Friday with some Esper Genesis, and back here next Tuesday for D&D Ghosts of Saltmarsh and episode 323 of Pen and Pixels. That's it. Much love to all of you wonderful folks, and I will see you soon. Everyone, be good to each other. Bye for now.